everybody. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Hello. Zale Crow, thank you very much for the 4-month resub. Appreciate it. Hello. Morning. I'm awake. I am most of the way through a coffee. I've got a cat. Can't ask for anything else. We're having an extra comfy Friday morning because it's one of those days where you've got like more things lined up in a day than you're used to. I wouldn't say a lot of things because I think a lot of people do a lot more than me in a day, but more things than normal for me. So we're starting out real cozy, and we're just going to try and do one thing at a time. Alkerbot, thank you for the 9-month reset. Happy Friday, Hazel and Chat. Hello, Hazel and Chat. Happy Friday, everybody. Hi, honey bun. How you doing? Cat in my lap. Deep breaths. Nothing bad will happen unless we do something bad. I am level 24 and 60%. I have done most of the quests from Darkshore that I can stomach doing at this point. I had gone back to do like Grey quests basically to fill out some experience. And I've done all of them that are about to happen. I've got a few things to turn in down here. I think I'm going to try the escort to Ashenvale. I might even do it normally where you go on the road because we're a high enough level now we should be able to deal with it. Or we can also just like stay off the road. So we've got a few things to do, but they should give actual experience. And I'm hoping that I can make it to like 25 and a half would be nice. Good things that I did were I sold all my greens and then I bought another runecloth bag. So I now have 2 14 slot bags and 2 10 slot bags equipped. I am absolutely flush with bag space. Bad thing I did is I forgot to buy new flasks and stuff. I bought a couple of sprint potions for my oh no plan, which is where if I get into really hairy trouble, we sacrifice the Voidwalker to get myself a nice big shield. I have rank 2 as sacrifice now. And then pop a sprint potion and book it. That's the plan. So I bought those, which is great, but I forgot to buy like regular files, you know, Troll's Blood, Defense, Fortitude, Wisdom, that kind of thing. But I'm getting to the level where I really need like the mid rank, if not the 3rd rank of them, and I'm probably too cheap to buy those anyway, so we're just gonna live our lives like this for now. I'm also out of buff food. I don't know how I managed to vendor my stack of buff food, but that was kind of a big oopsie. So it would be great if we could cook something at some point. I have a recipe. Murloc fin soup will give me 6 stamina spirit. But I'm pretty sure I need like higher level Murlocs to get that. And I don't know exactly where I'm gonna. And then the goulash is also 6 stam, but it's like, you know, red roach stuff. I'm gonna get the cooking book from Ashenvale when I get there. And I'll have a look and see if there's anything like more within my reach that I can make. Even if it's just a 4 stam spirit food, that would make me feel marginally better. I do have lots of health though. I upgraded some armor. I got a couple of pieces that are closer to my level, so I'm rocking... How much stamina do I have? 62 bonus stamina without any kind of priest buff or food buff. I have 1,036 health. Hellgrave's got decent health too. So we're feeling okay. We just have to pay attention. Take it easy. Don't jump into anything. You know, don't do anything that your mom wouldn't do. Morning from the ferry. Moving away from the island. Oh, I hope you have a smooth move. First and only hardcore tune? No. Sorry, that was an aggressive no. No! I died in my first warlock at level 15, so this one at 24 is now past that. I also have made a variety of other characters. None of them have died. Some of them have been replaced by re-rolling. I have a bit of an alcoholism problem. So I'm turning in that one. 17 silver is pretty good for vendoring a sword. I'll take that. And then... I don't want to grab the sleeper quest yet because I'm almost ready to go to Ashenvale, but not quite. I ground out all of those Moonstalker pelts so that I could make the cloak to do the Grimclaw and Volcor quest, and I intend to do it. Here, take the sword. There we go. I very much intend to get that done. I have a strength. I'm just going to vendor that. I tried to sell it. I couldn't sell it. I couldn't believe that I sold the rest of my greens, though. I posted a bunch of stuff overnight. And I thought, no way, like, no one's gonna, it's late. No one's even playing. No one's gonna buy this stuff. I was wrong. Somebody took every last piece. Morning. Good morning. It is possible to zoom out farther. Yeah. You can get an add-on or use a script to kind of uncap or, well, extend the cap of your default zoom. Leatrix Plus does that for me. Sometimes I forget to zoom all the way out, but it is really nice for safety. Died going into that Sethrex Tower in Darkshore. Yep, there's a level 28. I saw somebody die to that last night in my death log. There's a level 28 Void Caller in there that jump scared me. I didn't go in, but I like saw it and I was like, I could probably take this. No, I cannot. And then I left in great fear and disgrace. Driving to Ottawa with 2 cats. Calvin's cried the entire time, so his voice is hoarse. Aww. Your About Me section on Twitch still says you made an H-Priest. I actually have recently updated that to reflect that because I am switching back to H-Priest for Season 2. This is one case in my entire career of content creation where I updated that to make it accurate early. Alright, we're gonna pay attention here because I need to basically... You can use the Volcor Cloak and stealth into here. I'm gonna actually just hard clear. I'm gonna hard clear. These mobs should be reasonable for my level. And I'm just... I messed this quest up last time. I did something goofy. I, like, had read a Wowhead comment about how all you have to do is, here, let's just pay a little bit of attention, actually. All you have to do is, like, tell him to escape by stealth, the guy in the cave. And then you can hearth out if your hearth is at Aberdeen. And then you're fine. And I was like, cool, I'll do that. And I did it, and I did it too soon. And the quest failed because I got out of range of him. Because I escaped out of there, like, way too early. You come over here. So this time I'm going to give him the cloak, tell him to stealth out, and just chill and wait there for a minute. Because of my level, I have a pretty minimal aggro radius to these mobs, so it shouldn't be too bad for me to leave. I am still putting Curse of Recklessness in all of them, though, so that they don't sprint away when they get low, because I'm not trying to do like a 5-pull here. Wonder if I should open a ticket. Still haven't gotten the book. I don't think they'd be able to help you at all, unfortunately. It's just, it's one of those things. I hope you find it soon. I hope you find it soon. I have more raid testing to do this afternoon. We did some raid testing yesterday. I did raid testing as my holy priest. And, oh, I got a pair of green boots. I'm gonna check and see in a second what those are statted like. Stam, Spirit, Leather. Oh yeah, I can sell those. I mess with that. I'm happy about that. Anything that pays, because I can shop in this game. I have no qualms. Is that how you say that word? About spending gold to kit myself out as best as I possibly can. So anything I can do to make it back is good stuff. So we're gonna decline that. We're gonna hold down our modifier, and then you're gonna just sneak out. Sneaking out gives me 6 silver plus some pants. If we force out, it's 14 silver plus some... Am I? Yeah, sure, let's try it. This isn't as easy, but I should overlevel this enough. Let's find out. I haven't even run a prediction yet, so if I die, no one's making any points off this. Does the raid work? They had to, actually here, let me get back to you in a bit. I'm relaunching the prediction from yesterday. And then I'm gonna pay attention to my escort quest. I think it's the same amount of experience. Either way, I just, I really wanted that extra 10 silver, apparently. Fun raid. Does the raid work? Right. They had to put out a raid warning, like a server-wide chat warning, being like, hey, so this one trinket that you guys are testing is causing server issues. So if you guys could all just like take that off, then maybe this lag will clear up, because like as we start pulling the first boss, it is like stop motion laggy. It was really, really, really bad. And apparently it was one of the trinkets they were testing, which was funny because we had just been talking about that on stream yesterday. One of the trinkets they were testing was like breaking the server, so people had to take it off until such a time as they can fix that. But yeah, raid seems to work. The first 2 fights I've seen so far seem cool. I like them a lot. I need more. I'm using the new tier set, the new Holy Priest tier set, and I need more practice and more time. And I also kind of like want to play it with my modern UI. I don't know. I need more time. I was looking at the logs and I know it's raid testing, and the point is not to parse in raid testing, but I'm not happy with my raid testing parse, so I want to do better. But I tried, and then it didn't go any better. I was like comparing my spell usage to other priests in the group that were healing more than me in the first boss, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus more on that. I'm gonna do that, and I did, and then it like didn't get any better. I was still like barely out healing the bear tank, if at all. But that's okay. That's not the point. The point is that we saw the fights, that it went well. We phased it. We killed both of them actually. Both bosses died, and we've got 2 more bosses to see today. Of the whale cells? Oh, yeah. Because of the stam on it. Spirit is, I don't want to say garbage, but there's definitely a perception that Spirit is garbage. It's kind of convenient, but it's definitely worse than the rest of the stats. But stam is so strong, for hardcore in particular, that any piece that has stam on it is going to be valuable, because that's just going to help people live. Hey, we did it. Okay, so that turns in all the way back at Aberdeen, which is annoying. But I'm just gonna make that run now before I change my mind. I want my silver. And that way we can chat and we can have some more coffee, because the road should be pretty safe. I have no idea what the trinket did. It wasn't one of the ones that I was wearing. It was some trinket it was like DPS trinket of some kind, I think. How do you typically handle large AoE damage as a Holy Priest if you don't have the 2 big AoEs available? I don't know yet. Yesterday was my first day back on Holy Priest in all of Dragonflight. I'm guessing it has to do with, Prayer of Mending. Like, you just use your available buttons as best as you can. And then try to budget your buttons to make sure that you have them available for when you're going to need them. So not overusing them early if you know there's going to be big burst healing needed later. But, yeah, I'm still figuring it out. Other priests of your group of higher item level? No, everybody gets an item level scaling buff, so their item level would have been hard matched. And I had the exact same talent build as well. So it's definitely a usage issue. Did you get the 22-pound salmon I sent you? I did. I think I put it in my bank. I think I put that one away for sentimental safekeeping. Okay, I want to get there. I want to mount. Am I level 40 yet? We're 24. We're almost there, right? Oh, boy. As a hunter of this level, you have aspect of the cheetah, which is, like dangerous if you're fighting stuff. But if you're just doing like a trek like this, or like you're in town, holy moly, it feels really good. It is super nice to have that like constant movement speed for getting around. And I miss it right now. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just being me. I'm also not coming at it from my finest state of like mental wellness and balance. I sometimes am a good example of mental wellness and balance, and sometimes my brain's full of bees. And I've just been on kind of a downswing in the last little bit. It won't last forever, but it's not pretty in the short term. I gotta do something. I can't help but think about the gnome boy when you say, "Oh boy." I don't know about the required level for grand mounts. I think in Wrath they did bring it down, if not in TBC, because it's certainly not level 40 for a basic mount in Wrath. Had to think of you recently? You know how it is sometimes hard to know how words are pronounced when you only read them? Yes, I know that very well. I live that often. Wonder if Season 3 will launch before BlizzCon? If so, will they announce the next X-Pack and maybe their plans for Season 4? I would like that. I would be alright with that. I don't think that's an unreasonable timeline. I think it would be a bit of a shame if they did BlizzCon and they didn't have a WoW expansion too. Like, I don't need them to tell me everything, but like, it would be cool if they had at least like a high-level concept to announce. Why is it epitome and not epitome? Huh. I guess I haven't seen it written down in a while. Related to that, when reading, I never knew anybody named Penelope, and I only ever read the name, and for the first probably 12 years of my life, I thought that name was Penelope, because that's how it looks to standard English. I hadn't encountered a lot of... I don't even know what that root is. Greek? Yeah. Because it's Greek. Like the name Penelope. Yeah, Greek. I had not encountered any Greek words yet at that point of my life, and I thought certainly it was Penelope, and I was incorrect. I also used to be really obnoxious about saying comfortable and not comfortable because I wanted to pronounce the middle sound, even though that's not how that word works. All right, I got my 14 silver. I got my belt icon vendor. I'm not even going to stop and vendor it. We're going. I got 43 bag slots. I paid for ringcloth bags, and by golly, I'm going to use them. I had a weird WoW dream last night. Velen said more demons should be welcomed into the Alliance. Asked me to go to literal hell and find the red and green infernals, but not the blue ones to invite to the Alliance. Blue infernals. First read the name Hermione, saw the movie, was like, oh, that's how you say her name. Yeah, I used to call her Hermione when I was reading it until the scene in the 4th book where she's teaching Crumb how to say it, and then I was like, oh, I feel like this was put in here for a reason. Literature didn't get me for some reason. I feel like I must have heard that one out loud. Demonstrable was a demonstrable? Demonstrable? Demonstratably. Weird one for me the first time I heard it pronounced. Every now and then, I feel like there's still a couple of lurking words that I've picked up only from... Because I don't really listen to things that much. I'm much more of a written text than an audio person. I have a harder time parsing information when I only hear it compared to reading it. I do much better with reading, so I tend to prefer, like, even if I'm watching movies and TV, I have to have subtitles. I haven't watched TV without subtitles in a long time. Smallish word, minefield of variable pronunciations, type of spider, leaning towards the Greek style of argiope. Argiope sounds very fancy. Because it's a bug. I don't know why, but because it's a bug, it makes me feel like it should just be like argiope. Because sometimes science-y words, or words that I feel like were pinned by scientists, as many like niche animals and plants are just like weird. I feel like scientists are a bit strange about naming things. Like sometimes there's like a rule set for it, and sometimes they're like, I knew this guy in grad school. He would love this thing. That's it. And like, it's so sometimes you end up with kind of wonky names that are pronounced kind of funny. Like the name of your Voidwalker. Me too. Thank you. As a scientist, you were absolutely right. Can't understand words coming out of their mouths. Auditory processing disorder. I don't know if I've heard of that before. I don't think that I would go that far to describe my own. I don't think I would claim that for me. But it's definitely a lot easier to read than it is to listen to stuff. I can't do the audiobooks thing. I can't talk about how I was in school because I don't remember how I was in school. I've always wondered if I ever like went to talk to someone to find out what's my problem. And they were asking me about like how my patterns were like while I was in school. I'd be like, I don't know, man. It was like 15 years ago. I could not tell you. I could dig up grades, but those won't tell you a whole lot. On the topic of subtitles, an interesting YouTube video on why TV sound is especially hard to understand. Oh. Is it because they want action scenes to be like really exciting, so they make them super loud, so I turn it down and then I can't hear dialogue because it's not as exciting? There's a formal system of naming chemical compounds officially, and it can get real wild for more complex ones. That is part of it. Alright. I'm gonna try this escort. Word on the street. Well, actually, somebody's currently doing it. Am I gonna try the escort? Is this where I chicken out of it? Word on the street is if you just stay clear of the road, you stay clear of the road to one side or the other, you will not trigger the ambush, and that'll be the end of that. And I am a 24 now, so I have some wiggle room. I have some leeway over this. Skip all the enemies, stay off road. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm going to try that. I just don't know how long it's going to take for him to come back, but you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind up my fishing skill in the meantime. I'm putting on my fishing rod. I saved a shiny bauble just for this purpose. I need more fishing skill because there are sometimes things that I want to fish up for gold, and my fishing skill sucks. So let's see if we can get a couple of extra skill points. Remember to grab the horn. I don't know what that means. Almost level 25. This is Spooky Voidwalker. You like Hellgrave? Yeah, nearly 25. Ashenvale should be juicy for me for a little bit. It should have some quests that are actually vaguely relevant, but still not hyper dangerous if I'm careful, especially because I've done all of the early Ashenvale quests. Basically everything west of the river. I don't really like crossing the river because then you get like horde guards and horde patrols and stuff. But, so I don't really mess with like Forest Song or anything like that. But everything west of that big river should be okay if I'm careful. There's a horn in a box you have to get to wake up the escort man. Oh, okay. Am I still going to wetlands after this? Eventually, yes. I'm happy to grind my level up basically as far as I can comfortably get it in Ashenvale and early Stone Talon. Which I think will give me until like 26 maybe. And then that's like a pretty nice level for starting wetlands, because that puts the early quest into pretty green territory and gives you some wiggle room, because you don't want to be underleveled messing with null camps. You don't really want to be messing with null camps alone unless you are very, very, very set up for it. My hunter is still alive. Yes, she's level 26. I haven't played her since I got really into the gnome though. I've been leaving it alone. People don't buy the Darkshore Grouper for that quest. I did train as well, yeah. I went back to Ironforge last night off stream to get some demon training, to get some warlock training. I now have an AoE taunt button. It's a 2-minute cooldown, and my Voidwalker will taunt all enemies within 10 yards of him, which I'm very excited about. It's a really boring animation, but it seems like a pretty useful thing. And that's, as far as I can tell, the last thing that he's going to learn how to do. He doesn't really do anything else. He can single target taunt, he can AoE taunt, and by taunt I just mean like do a high threat thing. It's not a true taunt. And he can consume shadows to heal himself, which I appreciate because it works very well. Are we talking about ear tubes? I had ear tubes too. I'm part of the childhood ear tubes club. It was really cute when they would fall out eventually, like once you kind of outgrow them and they're not needed anymore. They would fall out and I would put them under my pillow like you did with teeth, and then my mom would give me like a quarter or something, and it was from the tube fairy. Because my mom's really cute. Don't need subtitles to understand Hazel. Aww. I thought for a while I had turned on... Oh, you know what? I might have left it behind when I switched off of OBS. For a while with my last streaming client, I actually had live captioning. I don't know how accurate it was, especially for game words, or if I got very you know, excited and spoke rapidly, but it did a reasonable live captioning job. But I don't think I'm running anything like that anymore. I had to switch clients because my stream was going kaput. Alright, my boy behind me is back. Time for adventure. We're gonna put our staff back on. I've been enjoying Addy Bags. I'm not sure about the new... I know I have a button to put it all away, but... I kind of would like weapons and armor to be together. And I would like for the new items thing to... Maybe I'm not worried about that. I don't know. Okay. He was on his way to Maester's Post. He decided to take a nap. Ever since he awoke from the Emerald Dream, he's been sleepy. I may fall asleep, so if you ever need to wake me up, use my horn. You'll find it in the chest here. I'm going to get 10 silver worth of vendor item.
Sleeper has awakened.
So that's his chest. We're grabbing the horn. I will throw it on my bar. And we're gonna mark up our friend, and we're gonna just go to Ashenvale and stay real clear of the road. We're just gonna stick to this side of it, I think. I don't see why not. Equipment option to have armor and weapons together? New stuff away? Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one that gets. Oh no, I'm not gonna stop and mine. Not yet. We're going to Ashenvale. I did grind these Twilight mobs for quite some time, trying to get that book to drop. And I actually ended up just giving up. Oh dear, buddy, that's a bad place to take a nap. Are you good? Can NPCs drown? This looks like the perfect place for a nap, he said. Uh-huh. Yeah, alright. I need to make sure I don't lose him. We're cheesing. We're cheesing. I'm restraining myself from starting. Also, it's like super quiet. I have this turned way down for some reason. There we go. You good? You with me? I don't care if any of them are tin. We're walking by. Beep beep, no sleeps. I'm restraining myself from starting a story while I'm in the middle of this because that's how I die. That's how I go out. I just get into an anecdote and I'm unwilling to let it go and I do something silly, so we're not doing it. I'm saving my anecdote. It's barely even a story anyway. He's sleepy? Yeah, he's sleepy. Well, at least we're waking him up with, like, a horn and not the thing that you smack the orcs with in the Valley of Trials. Didn't notice the time. How goes it? Hello, JG Britt. Going good, going good. We're gonna hug left. We're hugging left. We're in Ashenvale. We're fighting wolves. Misspellings might kill me. I would have to obsessively fix my chat message even while being beat on. Feel that. Okay, I've turned it up too much. Ashenvale music goes pretty hard. Alright, is he with me? Oh, we have a timer on this. You've got 20, you got like 21 minutes. That's a pretty aggressive amount of time. So we're going all the way to Maester's Post with him. I'm kind of just going like beside the road. I don't know how far off the ambush thing is. I also feel like I could take the ambush at this level. I don't know if that's true or if that's just overconfidence, but I feel like if I did accidentally trigger it, it wouldn't be the end of my life. I think we could deal.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
He's awake. Having sound on and dialogue sound in Classic, I don't expect anything to be voice acted, so whenever anything is, it always gets me. There is a sentinel that you have to go save in Darkshore from like a scripted Furbolg attack, and her quest is called like One Shot, and she's an archer and you're defending her, and she says 1 shot, 1 kill, and I'm like, Widowmaker, is that you? That must be a reference to another thing, because she's been out there for a while. Quite the long escort. Yeah, they really want you to go pretty far. I'm assuming that that big hotspot right there is probably where one of the ambushes is. Warcraft 3 quotes. She also says, only too easy, after she murders one of them. Are you sleeping? He's sleeping. He's napping. Did a Hearthstone beat you today? Only managed 3rd? Hey, that's a victory! That's a win! There's 5 other people in there that managed less than that. It's pretty good. I'm awake, I'm awake. I still say that to myself when I feel tired, even after all those years after doing this quest back in vanilla. The Elf Archer 1/1 Hearthstone card had it as well. I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right. He's coming. We're getting medium leather now. I've been able to auction off medium leather, and I appreciate that. But even if I did have to vendor, it's like 50 copper per. It's pretty good. Because I'm not saving up for a mount, I've been kind of using my gold for gear. And then whenever I feel like I have extra gold left over, I'm like saving up for bags. I'm 2 of 4 Roomcloth bags right now. And holy moly, does it feel good. Especially when you want to just like go grind stuff. I feel like the timer of how long I can stay out in an area grinding mobs for experience is basically just like, well, how much space you got in your bags. Because I don't want to keep grinding after my bags fill up. Alright, we're here. We made it. You coming? Oh, no, he's napping. Buddy, you're almost back. You're almost home. Oh, why no mount? You gotta get to level 40 for that in Classic.
My path is clear.
I'm working on it. If you've encountered the dwarves in the way to Kernos that yell mortar combat, that's also pulled from Warcraft 3. Huh. I knew that I'm not that kind of orc. I know that was like a Warcraft 3 thing. There we go. Quest done. No ambushes required.
How may I help?
And then I had some other stuff that I had done up in Ashenvale, or up in Darkshore, that turned in Ashenvale as well. I helped escort the, actually that one I turned in was just for that 1 shot 1 kill quest. I escorted the Dryad as well, and then 10 silver from that one.
Peace.
Some actual experience. We love to see it. Crossing it to 24. Thank you. We made it. I should try and make it all the way into Astranar pretty early, just to set my hearth there and get the flight point and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty close. I'm just gonna walk to Astranar first. Garrison's had a lot of Warcraft 3 subs. The Secret, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Appreciate it. We're pretty close to 25. I don't know when my next, I just got a bunch of demon training. I don't know when my next really good thing is. My 26 training, I'm excited to get Cursive Tongues, actually, because that should help me out a ton with really troublesome casters. I don't have any interrupt, and I don't have any stun, and I have no, like, nothing, basically, to stop a cast except for Fear, which is a 1.5 second cast of my own. So having Cursive Tongues on, like, an NPC that can heal itself is going to make that way easier. So we're excited about that. I haven't upranked Life Tap because I haven't really been needing it. I'm wanding so much that mana's not a big issue for me. And I haven't been going for Searing Pain because I don't want to cause a high mana threat. I want my Voidwalker to have threats, so I've just decided to... And again, I'm wanding for filler. I'm putting up my dots and then I'm wanding, so... I'm kind of good with that. So Theralune's going to turn in over there. We will loop back and get that at some point. What's my favorite WoW expansion? What do I usually say? I used to say Cataclysm. I used to say Cataclysm because I loved Cataclysm. I loved that I loved all the quality of life improvements, like the account-wide. I loved that it brought in transmog. It made pet collections account-wide. It made mount collections account-wide, I'm pretty sure. It made, I loved the questing, the professions. I had a great time in Cata. And then BFA had just the most magical zones in collecting and raids and dungeons. Best race for Shadow Priest on both sides, other than gnomes and goblins? I would have to wowhead that. I don't know off the top of my head. If you're talking retail, I'd have to look it up. Totally read your title as 24-hour leveling. Oh man, if only. Maybe then I would get to level 40. Alright. Brand new flight point. I'm excited to be in Ashenvale because I need to get the cooking book from down here. I need my expert cooking tome for sure. We've got lots of quests we can pick up. All kinds of delightful things to do over here. Let's grab all of these. Your favorite zone? Walking down into Ungura Crater from Tanaris the first time? One of the most magical memories I have in WoW. I love Tiergard Sound. It feels very homey to me. It reminds me of a lot of places that I have lived and now continue to live. I love Tiergard Sound. I always had a soft spot for Oldham. I think it's just because the questing was really like nice and straightforward, and because it was like nice and bright and sunny. I always liked kind of the summery zones that had like warm looking weather and just a lot of kill quests. So anywhere the Hemet Nestingwari pops up, Stranglethorn, the one in Wrath, Shalzar Basin, that kind of thing. I always loved those zones. Alright, I'm going to, while I'm in an inn, actually take a real quick second. Super early break, but one sec. Okie dokie. Hi, Kitty. I'm sorry. I know you're comfy. You can sleep on my lap if you want. This girl just wants like a nice warm place to sleep. That's all she wants right now. I am playing Classic right now. I got, I'm having a little bit of a moderate addiction to Hardcore Classic. I'm finding it to be very compelling and easy to play a lot of. And hard to go back to retail. I want to sort out my bags a little bit, get rid of some of the fishies. I don't need to carry that around. I'm gonna try and sell those. We're vendoring that. Vendoring that one too. And then I also want kind of poke around a little bit and see. I know that the cooking recipes are probably going to be like over with the person that actually sells the cooking book, but I would love it to be able to get, I might go there early actually, because I would just love to be able to pick up a new recipe that I can farm mats for here, because I am really feeling my lack of a food buff. My buff bar just looks real empty. I can deal with a lack of flasks if I must, but
Feel free.
man, the lack of food buff's really getting me. So I'm going to go head over to here and
Good luck.
go. I should be able to buy it. Yeah, I've got 2 gold 57. I think we can afford it. It's in this kisses. He's a sleepy boy. He's having his morning nap. I've been working with him. He really wants to be in the kitchen, like right on top of my feet when I'm cooking, which is kind of a dangerous place to be. You know, there's like food he can't eat. There's knives and hot things, and it's just not great. Plus, he's a huge tripping hazard. So I'm working with him on, I have a bed that's like in view of the kitchen, but not in the kitchen. And I spent half the time cooking dinner yesterday being like, Moose, come back to your spot. Good boy. Back to your spot. Good boy. trying to show that that's a perfectly good place. It's a comfy place to hang out. You're not going to get tripped on. You can still watch mom cook. But not necessarily be like right underfoot. Really like Borealis. Felt like a lived-in place. Borealis had like a really high NPC population count. Like they had just a lot of people living there, and there were areas of the city that were just because, like, there was lots of places that weren't like really quest areas. You didn't need it for anything. You didn't really need anything off these vendors. They were just cute places that were part of a city, and those are my favorite places to hang out in. I still go back there on alt sometimes and just like chill in Borealis. Grizzly Hills any day. Hilly woods that might be a little chilly. Autumn atmosphere. I'm gonna be a little careful because some of these are gonna start getting higher level. A little careful heading down here. I'm not gonna mess with the elemental bracers just yet. It's not as dangerous as the red makes it look out to be. It's just that it's casters. All of those elementals are casters. And if you aggro a bunch of them, they're all going to be pinging you, and it's going to be kind of hard to get away, especially because you're swimming, so you're slower. So you just want to be cautious of what you're... That's a good quest to be over-leveled for before you go do it. Lots of people die to the boss in there. Oh, there's a level 30-something warlock. They do exist. Wish they would have kept adding quests to explore the space. I kind of liked that because there were no quests, you wouldn't have a whole lot of people there. It was kind of like a nice little place to explore. I liked going there just for its own sake. I kind of liked that some of it was unused, so to speak. And there were, I think, some stuff had like, you know, a certain profession quest in BFA. You would go talk to like this guy in this one shop for reasons, but a lot of the stuff that was like over closer to the keep. These furbolgs are one of my favorite farming spots, but we're not quite high enough level to comfortably farm that just yet. We're heading to go buy the book. Kitty nice and relaxed? Yeah, she's comfy. Okay. Will I pick this one up? I guess I can. My quest tracker's not really full or anything like that. Glowing soul gem. Northeast in Ordilaran. Oh, I know where that is. Doing the Tower of Altalax things puts you on like a pretty big quest line that lasts you all the way to basically level 30.
Hello.
Okay, there's that. Chandrina sells expert cookbook. 1 gold. Okie
Good
dokie.
luck, friend.
Teaches me how to be an expert cook with a maximum of 225 cooking skill. I just died. No! What happened? I'm so sorry. Okay. Is there a cooking trainer, or is it just the vendor with the book? There's a skinning trainer. If I get my skinning to 200 and I can scrape together 5 gold, holy, 5 gold, I can do artisan skinning. Herbalist, alchemist, alchemy supplies, butcher. Yeah, no, not an actual cooking trainer. I wanted like a a recipe of some kind, but I bet we'll pick some up in town. I must have some kind of a quest. So we're gonna scoot back to town and back north. I'm probably gonna do turning to Stone Talon Peak. Stone Talon is actually not as high level as you'd think it would be, so I could do some of that early as well. We'll go back to it later, though. On the butcher? Let me check. There's a bowyer? Skinner. Butcher. Olthan.
Goods are of the highest quality.
Oh, thank you. That's exactly what I needed. I'm buying both of them. That is precisely what I wanted. And then I might actually buy some. We need hot spices and mild spices to make those things. So I'm just going to get a bunch of them and carry them around because I got the bag space now. 26 Knolls and Redridge, the ones around Fangor. Oh, I'm so sorry. That sucks. We're trade goods this way. Starting hardcore. These are my add-ons. I gain more every day. This is the list that I'm currently using. Big, strong recommendations from it. I really like Deathlog. Leatrix and Leatrix maps are very nice. I mean, everything's very nice, otherwise I would have gotten rid of it. But I'm using Bartender to kind of move my bars around. Auctionator or TSM, but I like Auctionator a lot, is mandatory for me for using the auction house. I've got Addy bags helping me with my bag organization now. I've got threat plates to help me with my pet threat. All right, let's go. So I wanted lots of mild spices. 2 stacks of those, and then maybe like 1 stack of hot spices, even if that's like a lot.
Goddess watch over you.
We'll use it. We'll use all of it. Do you know if you sold or dropped your buff food? I don't. I have no idea what happened to it. That's all right. I need stag meat and big bear meat to make this next rank of buff food. So that should be pretty easy. I remember grinding some of this stuff out on my hunter last time I was on here on my last character. What's training gives me this tab here that shows me what kind of skills I can train at my level or at the next level, and like when you get various things. It doesn't help me with what my pets can learn, but for regular spells that you can train, it's super, super nice. My hunter is still alive. I just haven't been playing her lately. I've been kind of focused on the warlock. You think maybe Drop the Cheapest might have yeeted it? But I haven't. Drop the Cheapest won't yeet anything that you don't tell it to. And I don't remember telling it to yeet my buff food. It's possible, but it's possible if I wasn't paying attention, but it shouldn't do that on its own. Maybe she ate it all. She might have eaten it all. I only had like 5 pieces of goulash. I added food to the yeet list, but it's not going to just like vanish things. You have to actually confirm that you want to drop each thing in the list. It's not like auto vendor. Auto vendor will just like eat food in retail. Auto vendor will eat whatever you tell it to. Grab Cheddar the crab pet from Dream Search is so good. Nice, congrats. I at least have been collecting coalescence in one character. I think I'm going to try to get the mount first, but also I haven't really been going all that hard on Dream Searches. I'm not too worried about the missing food. I'm just going to make some more. I want to kind of stop by Theraloon's to turn that in and to pick up any more quests over there. But like, if I can, these bears will drop me the big bear meat that I need. Oh, somebody's mining that. It's just copper. We're okay. Just for reference, my 26th paladin died after 1 day, 7 hours. Now I got to think about if I want to go again. It's a very personal choice. And if you do go again, are you going again on the same class? Are you going to try a different class? Are you going to try a different faction? Do you want to redo the same quest that you're familiar with, or do you want to tread new ground? It's a lot of possible considerations if you want to go again at all. That is. Haven't been playing retail, stuck wanting to play hardcore. Same. I don't know what's going to get me out of hardcore. I think it's either going to be I get really bored grinding in like some really slow levels, or I die at a fairly high level and get so demoralized I never want to look at it again. Or I achieve my goal and I get 3 classes to 60. Couldn't just be one. That would be too easy. If I get a warlock, a hunter, and a priest all to 60 in classic hardcore, I would consider myself done. I would say I did it. Good job. That's probably enough hardcore for me. Spiders. I need bears and deer. How's everyone doing today? Hello, Necrothia. I'm doing good. How are you doing today? I'm kind of a busy day ahead of me, but I'm feeling all right about it. I had a decent start to the morning. Omega Spade, thank you for the 12-month resub. Priest leveling in Classic is rough. Do that last. I think that whatever character I do last is going to benefit from all of the wisdom that I learned from the first 2 journeys. Avoiding starting in hardcore for that exact reason. I have so much to do in retail before 10-2. Get the warlock mount. That would be a good stopping point. Maybe that would be a good point to like take a break and swap to a different character. Because like, you know, you can build up rested. Having multiple characters means you could rotate. And rested is like really nice when you're leveling in hardcore. It like would dramatically reduce the amount of grinding that you need to do. Although all that grinding is also making you gold. And all the gold makes you stronger because you can buy greens that make you good. So it's kind of tough. How many times have you had to start over? I've only had 1 death in hardcore. I died to my first warlock at level 15. There is a clip of it. There's a video. There's evidence. But I haven't died in any other characters. I deleted one because I just wanted to... I started a horde warlock and then I was like, I want to be a gnome. So I deleted the orc and I started a gnome instead. And then I have a horde hunter, and then I didn't delete her. She's fine. She's level like 12, but I have I made an alliance hunter and I've been playing that instead too. So I think I just want to be alliance. Considering enchanting my skinning knife so my mage can use it and not keep it in my bags. I had a moment on one of my hunters where I wanted to like stab things with the skinning knife and it wouldn't actually count as a weapon. Like I could equip it and I could attack with it, but it wouldn't count as a melee weapon for the sake of like raptor strike. I remember that being kind of rude. Ooh, spider silk. These wolves as well will drop wolf meat that I don't have a recipe for now, but there's a Duskwood quest that I might pick up one day that, there's a Duskwood quest I might get one day. It's nice that all these mobs actually give me experience. I was grinding mobs in Darkshore for a while that were like, you know, I was questing, so I was getting some progress, but it was just gray mobs for days, and I was kind of bored. Has no weapon class, very silly. I wonder how many people have deleted a hardcore character that is higher than level. I'm assuming there's a mist character there, level something still alive. Gray isn't even worthwhile. I found it to be worthwhile to go do those quests because I liked because some of them were prerequisite quests for later higher level quests that I wanted to do. The quest still gave reasonable amounts of gold, both directly and then in vendor stuff. And yeah, basically just for a bit of extra gold plus getting some lead-in quests. Even some great quests that are higher level will still give you some experience. But yeah, if you go too far below your level, it's basically not, it's no good. Level 1. Oh, there must be some people. I can't be the only person that starts something and that goes, you know what, I want to be a different race. I do find myself feeling a little bit, not like uncontrollably so, but a little bit completionism-y. There's a word. I find it very satisfying to do every quest from a zone that I can find. And if I find a quest and I'm like, this quest is dangerous and I shouldn't do it yet, I like kind of coming back to it later if I can. I like that feeling of like, even if it's kind of you've like leveled beyond there, you don't really need to do it. I like the feeling of just going back and finishing it. Too impatient for green unless this is a scary quest area. I don't like abandoning quests even if it's gray. I don't mind abandoning quests, but I know that I can always pick them back up again from wherever I got them from. The quest log, I wouldn't say I struggle with it, but I definitely am aware of the limited space that we're working with in that. Mercifully, vanilla zones have very few quests by comparison to retail. I could have used a few more. Ooh, Greenway Cloak of Frozen Wrath. I wonder if I can sell that to a mage. Playing an elf that's a mage, I often think I'd rather play Hunter. Hunter, in my opinion, is subjectively the most fun / durable class. I feel like they have a really nice combination of damage and tools and just like nice quality of life things. If you like pet management. If you don't like pet management and you're not in the mood to micromanage your pet, Hunter could probably get you into big trouble. I'm sure plenty of hunters have died from having their pet either go into or they send their hunter pet in somewhere where it then pulls body aggro and then you get into trouble. But if you're willing to be very cautious of not only where you're standing, but where your pet's standing too, I feel like it's super, super good. My biggest struggle with my hunter is bag space. Being down a bag slot because of the quiver, plus having, she also has a crafting profession. She's herb elk, so she's carrying around stuff for that. Oh, she has no room ever. But I'll sort her out. I'll get her some rune cloth bags eventually next time I start playing her again. Same could be said for warlocks. Warlocks feel squishier than the hunter, and your damage feels not as good. Hunter feels like it does more damage and kills mobs faster at the same level in the same gear. A hunter's agility is going to actually give them ranged attack power, whereas a warlock's intellect pretty much just improves their mana points and then maybe spell crit. But it bothers me that you don't get spell power from int. You get spell power from, if you get like, you know, for example, I'm wearing Pants of Fiery Wrath. That gives me fire spell power, but like, I don't know. It's I'm having a really hard time valuing int gear because unless I'm going it just feels like I would rather have stam. But maybe I'm just misunderstanding. I'm not a classic expert or anything. All right, so we did it. We turned that one in. We're pretty close to another level. That's exciting. Tyrannus' corpse is all the way in there. Tower of Althalak's all the way over there. Hey, let's go do I have Culling the Threat? I do have it. I know what that one is too. Let's do... What is my lowest level quest that's in Ashenvale that I have right now? During Noonstone Hill and Peak. Tyrannus in Ashenvale. Let's go do that one. I know where that one is. You've got like a bunch of there's some murlocs over there, I think. Either murlocs or like slime beasts. Squishier, do less damage. Why be a lock? Because I can be a gnome. Hunters can't be gnomes in classing. Plus, I like wanding. It's kind of refreshing to wand and not have to have ammo for it. I like that wands pick projectiles out of thin air. Appreciate that. I think I did a prediction. Yeah, I did do a prediction. There's a few people that have bets in. I did it earlier in the stream. My third, currently a 26 Undead Warrior. Oh, cool. But yeah, I wanna ultimately get both pet classes up to 60 plus a priest. Just, I don't even know why I want to play a priest. I just really want to put a bubble up and wand things and then buff people with 6 stam buffs. That's what I want. That's my priest fantasy. Wear robes, wand things, stam buff. It's like I'm 2/3 of the way there on my warlock, except that all I can really buff people with is water breathing. And sometimes they like that. And sometimes you're just decorating them. I want to want. Plus, it's just fun playing with a different toolkit. I feel like some of the skills that you get on a hunter are transferable to warlock and vice versa. A lot of the pet management goes both ways, so it's kind of nice, you know, going back and forth between them because you feel like you learn something every time. All right, I'm gonna let him set up first. My hunter's wandering around with a mage robe on. I really appreciate that you guys are also enjoying hardcore with me. I was a little worried that I would catch a lot of flack for being away from retail for so long, because I'm a very reliable retail streamer. It's usually, it's pretty weird for me to be off retail for any decent amount of time. And, I mean, it's still WoW, but it is different, and I'm glad that some of you are along this journey with me. Do you like pumpkin stuff, food, treats? Currently ordering fall food from Targets. Trader Joe's is the other good go-to. Oh, nice. I like, I mean, I love a good pumpkin spice latte. I'm not too good for that. Pumpkin bread, not so much. Pumpkin pie, decent. My family has a recipe for what they call pumpkin freeze, which is like a frozen homemade dessert. And that's good stuff. That's where it's at. I wonder if these guys drop the fins I need for the fin soup. One of the things that Priest has, prime quality of life, one mastery spirit tap, makes stuff kind of chill. Yeah. You're gonna talk me into it. you're gonna talk me into wanting to start it. I'm gonna hit like a grindy spot or a slow spot on my warlock, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? I do want to be a priest, and I think I just love leveling to like 15 in hardcore. Like those are such fun levels. Pumpkin cheesecake's so good. Do you ever play WoW outside of stream? Frequently. It's a problem. All the time. Especially lately. I've been, I think, avoiding my problems a little bit with WoW recently, which is healthy to an extent and unhealthy to a different extent. But I'm level 25 almost. There we go, level 25. Woo! I'm spending my talent point. Fell stamp. Eventually. We have 14, so next level is another fill stamp point, and then we can start putting Master Summoner points in. Banana bread cranberry is the best. I've discovered that in my... I was gonna say in my old age, that's rude. In my current age, I don't really like sweet breads anymore. I love bread, but I want it to be savory. I want it to be even a little salty. I want sourdough. I want unsweetened bread. I don't want something that can't decide if it's bread or if it's cake. Either be cake or be bread. This is not a reasonable thing to be upset about. I am weird, and I encourage you to enjoy all the pumpkin, banana, cinnamon, spice coffee cake that you want. It's just, I wanted to like it because it sounds good, and I would get stuff like this at like a coffee shop, and I would, every time I'd be eating it, I'd be like, this is a waste of my time. I would rather just have bread. Do you have toast? Can I have some toast? It's not that I'm like too healthy for it. I promise you I eat like garbage sometimes. But I just can't do it anymore. Lily Meowinator, thank you for the 3-month reset. Yippee! I like lying to myself about sweet bread. Yeah. I think I used to, my palate has changed as I've gotten older. I like very different things than I did when I was like a teenager. Transylvania, we have only salty bread. Non-Hawaiian bread. I know a lot of people that really like Hawaiian bread, like that sweet, soft, like those rolls. I know quite a few people that love those. And it's just not my thing. I'll eat it, it's fine, I don't find it gross, but it's not what I want when I want bread. Sweet breads for black coffee or unsweetened lattes, barista? Yeah, that's probably part of my problem, is I am not ordering unsweetened lattes. It's just too much sugar. These guys, are they dropping Murloc fins? They're dropping Murloc eyes and scales. Not so much with the fins. Would you classify pizza as bread? I think that pizza crust is bread adjacent, depending on how it's prepared. When I make homemade pizza, Hazel pizza, the crust is functionally bread. It is not super oily. It is quite fluffy and risen and yeasted. I'm not a thin crust pizza kind of girl. So when I make it from scratch, it is functionally like herb garlic bread with sauce and toppings on top of it. But depending on the format of pizza, don't mind me, I'm gonna throw my water breathing buff up. Can come or go. Fins are a low drop rate. They do drop fins, not as often as the other garbage. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that then for food. They drop a lot of clams. Although I've been selling the clam meat, actually. I've been able to... People buy it to level their cooking because it's one of the only It's one of the recipes that you can just train on a vendor that you don't need to actually go or train on the whatchamacallit, on the trainer. You don't need to go get a recipe from a vendor. Like people who get biscotti, like, wowie, that's crunchy. Like, yeah, you're supposed to soak it in the coffee. Same with scones. Oh, it's a double pull. Let's do it. I'm gonna have him use his suffering. Yeah. And I'm gonna have him melee the first one, and I'm gonna start wanting the second one. And I'm gonna have him taunt the second one. And hey, we kept them both! We kept them both! Good job, Helgrave! You did a double pull. I'm proud of you. Hazel, did you realize there's a wand vendor in Stormwind? Found it yesterday? I did not know that. That's kind of neat. Actually, did I know that? I might have gone there to buy a transmog wand, like a gray thing, recently on retail. I mostly have been getting green ones off the auction house for actual wanding purposes, though. All this talk of bread after I've had to give up gluten. I miss bread. Oh, I'm so sorry. What do you love about WoW? Kind of want to get into it? I think there's a lot of things that I like. But the thing that is fundamentally enjoyable to me about it is the idea that I can find a mob, I can find an enemy, and I can kill it any way I want, and I get to keep whatever it drops. It's the slot machine of it, I think. I, of course, enjoy new and exciting and better ways to kill them faster, more efficiently, and more safely. I like, you know, learning my class and using my tools and whatnot to conquer different situations. But the thing that keeps me playing is that slot machine of what's it gonna have for me? And being able to, you can do that as long as you want. You can kill as many as you want, and you can keep and or sell and do whatever it is you want with whatever they drop. I like that. I remember that was the most magical thing to me when I first picked up WoW, is I like auto shot down a moth on a hunter in Ashenvale, and it dropped a gray item, and I'm like, for me? Yeah, you can sell it to a vendor and get a copper. For me? Oh my goodness, wow. I'm gonna do that again. It's a pretty core loop to like a lot of games. It's not like WoW's the only game where you kill things and then loot them, but it is a format that I find to be endlessly compelling. Impressed you have this character at 25? Oh, thank you. 3 around 14 to 18. Don't know if I have another try in me. It's tough. It's very tough. I would imagine. The loss of my 15 got me a little bit. I found the item I wanted. I'm going to open some clams. That's going to free up some bag space here. I've clicked too many times. Bags is mad at me. I now want to go do the Wrathtail heads. Do I want to hit up a vendor first? Maybe. Bathron's hair is also pretty low level. Closet Diablo gamer. Need to learn to cook, watch my diet. Feel like garbage all the time. I mean, recognizing that the food that you're eating has that impact on how you're feeling, it sounds obvious, and I feel like it should be obvious to me, but I have to relearn that lesson all the time. I think part of it is also finding ways to enjoy cooking as a thing that you're doing for you and for fun, and not just because you feel like you should. If I'm doing something just because I feel like I should feel shame otherwise, I'm never going to do it. I'm just going to drown out those feelings with anything that I can. But putting on like some music, making sure my kitchen's like nice and clean and feels cool to be in ahead of time. Pretending that I'm like a woods witch who's concocting potions whenever I'm making soup. Like whatever it takes for me to feel like I'm doing something nice for me. And then the other nice thing is if you can make a big batch of something that you can then reheat later on your days where you're not feeling up to it is magic. I made a huge batch of curry, of chickpea curry last night, and I have leftovers in my fridge and my freezer. So I got 2 more nights of that ahead. One soon and then one much later after I've completely forgotten that I've frozen it. It wasn't my best curry, but that's the other fun thing is that you don't have to make something just once and never again. You can make something and then you can be like, you know what, next time I'm going to put a pepper in it. Next time I'm going to cook those beans for longer or for less long. Next time, I'm going to swap out the chickpea broth for a gravy. Like, whatever it is you're going to do. Endless iteration. I have never dry brined a vegetable overnight. That is not something I've ever done. How do you have 14 bag slots already? I bought them on the auction house. 3 gold-ish per. 3 to 4 gold. I think I bought one this morning for like 4 gold 20. And I've made that gold with skinning and with mining. I am double gathering, and I'm not any crafting profession, so I'm not spending any gold training crafting recipes, and I am selling everything that I gather. I was just watching a VOD where you were talking about curry. How weird. It's one of those things that's just pretty good. I wanted to make that curry more savory, and I don't know exactly. I don't know if I undersalted it or if I needed more spice. Like, I put a decent amount of seasoning into it. Or if my spice blend was kind of off, or maybe my spices are old. Some of my spices are a bit old. That's never any good. I wanted it to be a little more something. I'm very much a home cook. I'm not like a chef, so sometimes I'm trying to troubleshoot my food, and I have no words for what it is that I want to do to it. Your spice blend was spice bland. Yep. I also cook like I'm inventing something. I just put things in, and I go, huh, that's good. That's not good. I like this. I don't like that. Oops, I burned it. You know, like I make food that is sometimes very good. A lot of times it's fine. Once in a while, I feel like the worst I do is kind of like a 3 out of 10. I haven't made anything that's like inedible in a long time. But I do occasionally go, well, I guess I can eat this. Or like you make something and you're like, well, this is kind of bland, but I can jazz it up with like some hot sauce, or, you know, you've got salsa, or sour cream improves a lot of things if you eat dairy. I'm level 25. I'm pretty proud of myself. I want to pick up that quest, and I want to be careful because there is a horde camp back that way, so you don't want to overrun. I also would love to find a fire where I can make some buff food. Sounds like you are in a lab. People that cook with wine are gifted. Yeah. I don't cook much with wine. Mostly because I don't tend to have it around. And I know that you have like a bottle of cooking wine and it has nothing to do with the wine that you're drinking. Or it could have something to do with wine that you're drinking, but like I'm just too cheap to buy wine. That's my biggest thing that holds me back a little bit when it comes to cooking, is I have this misguided idea that if I'm cooking something from scratch, it better be dirt cheap. If I am really cheap about buying ingredients and like good quality ingredients to cook with, because I'm like, well, I'm not a good chef. I don't want to ruin something nice. And then like if I'm going to spend money, I could just get something that I don't have to cook, you know, like, so I tend to, I get kind of hung up on that. And then of course, if you're making food and you're cooking with really cheap ingredients or with ingredients that you've let get kind of old or stale, obviously it's not going to be as good. Like that's a huge limiting factor to how yummy everything's going to be, is what you're putting into it. But I have a tendency where if I'm making something from scratch, I really want to be extremely frugal about it. So sometimes that holds me back a bit too. Wine isn't expensive. It is more expensive than water. And it's generally more expensive than vegetable broth. And those are the two liquids I tend to cook with. That's the bar here. That's how cheap I am. If it's cheaper than water, then we've got a problem. I also don't like buying things in glass containers if I can absolutely avoid it. And I know that you can buy wine that doesn't come in glass bottles, but glass is very clunky to recycle here. You can do it, but I don't like doing it more than I absolutely need to. So that's something that I try to consider when I'm shopping too. Blasphemer, thank you for the 51-month resub. Good morning. Good morning. I'm want... What do I want? I wanted a fire. He has a fire, doesn't he? He does have a fire. Okay, I need to cook. I have, Oh, they dropped some murloc fins. I can make some murloc fin soup. I can make some lean venison. We got some buff food back online, finally. I am very lucky that I live in a place where I don't need to buy water, because that would really freak me out. We have pretty decent municipal water here, and I'm able to just use a Brita filter to take any sense off of it, and I go ham on the Brita. I've never lived in a place where I had to buy bottled water. We used to buy big jugs of water, but you could get them like refilled at the water store when I was a kid, and that was when we were on well water that was like really sulfurous. Now that I'm on city water, it's much better. Okie dokie. I have 17 open bag slots. Oh yeah, I was gonna eat some of the buff food. Also, can we go into the Addy bag settings and one... Try that. Alright, I need 20 Wrathtail heads. This will keep me busy for a while. You go ham, you don't eat ham. Interesting. I am officially putting an end to the MSG conversation. It is fascinating, but I think we've said what we're gonna say, and I think we can move on in this place. So raw milk, eh? You want to start a food war? Holy moly! People get really, really heated about certain types of food conversations. It gets very tense very quickly. I'm not even gonna go loot that one. You know what? We're turning around. We're leaving that one on the ground. I don't even need his head. Pineapple on pizza. I'll start a new food war. Pineapple on pizza. Let's go. I don't hate it. I just don't seek it out. I'm at a point in my food life where I kind of know what I like, so I tend to repeat the same things. My go-to pizza is going to be some version of like olives and olives, garlic, artichokes sometimes, tomatoes. Sun-dried tomatoes are bis. I love sun-dried tomatoes on pizza. Spinach, good. Sometimes not even like a tomato sauce. Like if you can do like a garlic-based sauce or like a pesto sauce. That's all good stuff. Plus like cheese pizza. Like if we're doing pizza, we'll do one pizza that's like the hazel pizza that's got like the spinach and tomatoes and garlic and whatever. And then the second one's just like a cheese pizza. I mess with that. Cheese pizza and ranch, hot sauce, good stuff. I'm not too good for that. I'm not too good for much. I don't know why I'm so intent on making people think I'm not fancy. I think they get the idea. I think people know. I don't think anyone thinks I'm walking around feeling like I'm too good for stuff. Oh no, not the cold pizza argument. Not this one again. This one, we had like not an argument, but we had like a rousing conversation about this in my guild recently. I am, team reheat pizza either on the stovetop or in the oven. I typically do oven just because it's easier. I think cold pizza is acceptable, but it is inferior to reheated pizza. And I think microwaved pizza is worse than just throwing it in the garbage. I think I would... No, I wouldn't go that far. I was about to say I would rather litter than pizza, but that's not true. Never litter. I think that microwaving pizza is the greatest crime against food that anybody is likely to commit. There's my spicy take of the day. Yeah, I just reheat it in the oven. I just chuck it on a baking sheet. I stick it in the oven. I stick it in a cold oven and turn the oven on to 350 Fahrenheit. And then I just like walk away for 12, 15 minutes. And then by the time I get back, it's like perfect. I use just like a metal sheet so that it gets the bottom kind of crispy again. It's basically as good as it was when it was fresh for me. Air fryer. Yeah, air fryer pizzas can be decent. I remember it getting kind of messy in my air fryer back when I had one, but I've opted out of the air fryer convention. I've forfeited my card to the air fryer league of owners. Any physical or tabletop games on a regular basis? I'm not. I don't have any IRL like in-person gaming friends. I game online, and I game online with my online people. I don't know anybody that I would play tabletop games with here. Why am I here? For nothing. Not for anything particular. What is that? Ancient statuette. That I need. Oh, now I'm ordering pizza. I like to preheat the oven with a tray in there, and then pull the sheet out, put the pizza on, reinsert once heated. Onions ruin everything sticking to it. I am not really a raw onion person, but I really like sauteing onions and including those as a base in a lot of things. I do Hazel's lazy version of caramelized onions, which is where you start caramelizing onions and then you get lazy and then you just deglaze it in balsamic vinegar and eat them. Because I do not have the time to do it properly. I do have the time. I don't have the patience to do it properly. So I will just kind of saute them for as long as whatever else is cooking wants to cook. And then I'm like, all right, those look good. Little splash of vinegar, do it for a little bit longer, and then chuck them on a plate. It's good. Chuck them on a burger. I love balsamic glazed onions on a burger. Holy, like a veggie burger. I'm sure they would also be good on meat though. Whenever I see recipes that say caramelize onions by cooking them for 5 minutes, I want to bob the recipe maker. Yeah, they just mean like saute until, what do they call them, like glassy or whatever, like translucent, and they're just not saying the right thing. It's just not how it works. Somebody killed all of these enemies, and I need some too. I need respawns. Patience to reheat pizza. I would argue that the reheating pizza is a very inactive form of cooking food in that I've chucked it in the oven and walked away, whereas if I'm doing onions, I need to keep an eye on it. Anything on the stove, I need to be physically present for with some version of attention, which is something that I continually struggle with. Went out to get a salad, came back with lasagna, still counts. There's probably a vegetable in there. There's a note of tin somewhere. It's probably like way up on that hill. I'm moving on. I don't want it that badly. That's fine. Why would anyone have leftover pizza? Can't eat it, but I used to. I enjoy pizza a lot more if I pace it out. I can certainly overdo it, but it doesn't usually feel very good. I want to see a recipe just say cook till wiggly. Listen, be the cookbook that you want to see in the world. Wheat is a grass concentrated salad. There's the logic we need in our lives. Speaking of food, the anecdote that I repressed myself from saying back when I was doing the escort quest, I got myself a stainless steel frying pan. Frying pan? Saucepan? Not a saucepan. Like not a pot, but a pan. A skillet, perhaps. I don't know. Pan words tend to get me. I don't actually know which ones mean which, but thing that you would caramelize onions in. I am sick of the non-stick ones. I don't have the discipline to not scratch them with inappropriate tools and or cleaning. I like my other stainless steel cookware, so I am committing to learning to cook with either my cast iron or the stainless steel ones, because that's what all the professionals seem to do, and I am here for it. So I got not a super expensive one, but like a, stainless steel pan, and I'm going to get the hang of it. I read all the tips. I read all the articles. I was setting myself up to fail. The first thing I made in it is the one thing they tell you to not bother trying in a stainless steel pan, which is fried eggs, not scrambled, but fried eggs. And some people will keep there are summoning stones. Oh, it's a meeting stone. It's not a summoning stone. It's just a meeting stone. Maybe you can do something with it in a party? That's funny. And actually, I used all the tips that I read about last night while I was raid testing, and it worked pretty good. The eggs did not get stuck. I managed to do a 7.5 out of 10 job of frying eggs. F level 55. Human warlock, burning steps. I believe it. That's brutal. 55. Holy. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Hellgrave. Hello. Special egg pan with several decades of seasoning on it. I think I just need to get recommitted to keeping my cast iron properly seasoned. I have a tendency to just get lazy about it and not not bother. But it's cast iron, so I can bring it back. Eventually, I think that'll be the egg pan. I just need to do a little bit more work on it. But it went pretty good. I'm excited to come up with something else to make in it. If you lost your lock at level 59, would you end stream? I don't know. Sounds like juicy content. I would probably bemoan about it for a while and then end stream, or like go do some therapeutic like retail transmog runs or something. No, I don't currently have any non-stick pans. My last one wasn't even non-stick anymore anyway. It had a ceramic coating on it, which I thought would last longer, and I still managed to obliterate it somehow, so. Eggs stick to that thing like nobody's business. I could see if I could just be careful with it. Having a Teflon pan that is just for eggs that I only use like plastic tools and brushes on, but I'm just not a very careful person. I know this about myself. What happened to the cast iron? Nothing. It's fine. I've got it still. The seasoning just needs a little bit of work. It's a little bit patchy at this particular moment in time. I think it just needs another layer. I'm going to eat buff food. Warlock fin soup. Can I ask where you bought the pan? Been trying to find one. Honestly, I Amazoned a Cuisinart pan because I know the brand and because it had the right balance of like a stainless steel pan with an aluminum core plus being vaguely cheap enough. And it was on Prime. Off to Amazon. I haven't I've only used it once, so I can't sit here and offer my influencer review. Somebody stopped by to say, I just gotta say, that's the best Woodwalker name I've seen. Give him a water breathing buff. Why shucks. But I haven't been doing a ton of stovetop cooking in the last like couple of months. My partner's been doing more, but I've been mostly either doing like big batch of something and then heating that for a while, or just kind of not cooking. Been scouring Canadian Tire every time I'm there. You gotta wait for the sales. They have good cookware, and they will put it on sale for like half the price or less. That's the trick I found with Canadian Tire cookware, is that the stuff is decent, especially if it's a brand that you know and like, but do not buy it at full price. For any kind of Canadian Tire cookware, I will wait for a big sale, and then I also do the triangle app, so I get like the extra points back, and I will try and get like a 10 to 20 times points offer and that kind of thing, and I just do it then. I got my cast iron from them for like, I don't know, 20 bucks down from 100, and I don't think it was worth 100, but it would have been upsetting to pay 100. Eating Oreos for dinner. I think the Oreos are gone. No, partner was carrying a lot of slack with cooking. It was very sweet. Very, very appreciated. Plus a lot of frozen food. I'm buying like frozen lasagnas, frozen pizzas, frozen pasta dishes, frozen dumplings, that kind of thing. That can cover a lot of ground. Didn't you hike in a snowstorm to get it? Uh-huh. It was like a blizzard. It was basically, it had stopped snowing and it had started torrentially raining, but there was still snow and ice in all the gutters that was like clogging up all the drainage. So it was like super, like rivers of slush just like pouring down the streets, and it was dark out and it was winter. And I saw that this thing was on sale, and I saw that I didn't know, like it didn't have a sale end date. And I was like, this could go off sale again tomorrow. And I had gotten into my head that I wanted a cast iron pan. And I was like, you want to hike to the store? Because I wasn't going to drive in that. I did not have snow tires. And I figured, actually, I don't even think I had a car yet. I don't think I had replaced my car yet at that point. It was like pretty recently after moving here the first time. And walked to the store. Bought a cast iron pan. Health and percentage on the avatar. This? Or this? I have, here, I'll show you my add-ons. I'm using threat plates, which also has some other information on top of nameplates. And then I think that default unit frames, if you go into interface, status text, both, that's useful. That's the thing right there. No, I didn't wear snowshoes. I don't have any snowshoes. I wear my boots. Not even snow boots. They're just Blundstones, but they are surprisingly waterproof for boots that are not supposed to be waterproof. I hit them with a waterproofing spray every winter. It's about time for me to do that again. And they will keep out the water. Dumplings. We have a brand here called Dumpling Drop that makes like the yummiest frozen dumplings, and I steam them up in the bamboo steamer and then just serve them with like some rice and like a little bit of a soy sauce vinegar dipping sauce with like a little bit of ginger and green onions, and holy moly, that's like one of my favorite lazy dinners. It's expensive, mind you. It's not as expensive as eating out, but it's kind of like pushing it. But especially if you're like celebrating something but you still want to eat at home and not order out, it's pretty good. Was it uphill both ways to the store, or are you adding that part next time you're telling the story? It was far. It is not a walk that I have done. It is not a walk that I have done since I got comfortable with driving, I'll tell you that much. Although I still wouldn't drive in that weather. Started to make my own dumplings by frozen wrappers. Make a bunch of different kinds. That's smart. I haven't been able to find, and I'm sure I'm just not looking in the right place. I'm positive I could buy them here somewhere, but I haven't been able to find pre-made dumpling wrappers in any of the normal grocery stores that I go to. Usually they would keep them in the fridge section of like produce, and I have not been able to find them. Even like wonton wrappers that are like not quite right, but like kind of sort of work, I haven't been able to find those either. You can make dumpling wrappers, but that's like if you're in the mood to do so. You gotta want to make dumplings from scratch if you're gonna do that. That is a lot of anything you have to roll out and wrap individually is gonna take a bit of time. Too much work, yeah. It's the kind of thing that is a nice group job, a nice family task, a nice thing to do with people, or a nice thing to do by yourself if you want to have like an hour and a half alone with your thoughts. Yeah, these behind me are canvas box art. So they're canvas stretched over a wood frame. They were on sale, but they're pretty expensive full price. They also I don't think, carry those specific ones anymore. But I bought them for like $35 each, and I think they were full price closer to $100. But they're not just like flat posters. Character portrait. Not an add-on, I don't think. I think that in options, interface, status text. I have status text showing me both. I think that's default WoW Classic UI. Pagan choosing the Falcon. Falcon is Agi Int. Cloth Agi Int shoes. Huh. I might be able to sell those. 150 USD currently. Yeah, no, they're super expensive. It is one of those things that as long as you are careful with them when you move, they're functionally you're going to get to enjoy them for functionally forever. You know, there's not a whole lot that's going to happen to a canvas that's just on a wall as long as you hang it reasonably and you, again, pack it carefully when you move. I am glad that I invested in them, although, like I said, they were on sale when I bought them, but I am glad that I bought them because I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of them over the years. When I got older and I had a bit more disposable income, I felt more inclined to spend more money on wall art because I knew that that was something that I was going to basically just have. and enjoy for a really long time. I bought a painting, not a WoW thing, but I bought a painting at a farmer's market recently that I never would have spent money on when I was like, you know, like mid-20s or early 20s or a teenager or anything like that. But I loved it so much that I was like, I want to have this in my house for the rest of my life. I want to be able to look at this in my home forever. And I would like to support the artist that made it because I love it that much. What is the painting of? It is a painting of the local ocean as seen from underwater. It's a painting of the kelp forest here, and it's got like sea lions and kelp. You can see some divers off in the distance. It's kind of like what it would look like if you were diving near the ground looking up towards the sun, but like here off the coast of British Columbia. And I love that ecosystem so much. I haven't gone diving, but I've spent a lot of time fishing. And I spend a lot of time like at the beach and on the rocks and stuff. And I love all of the life there. And it just kind of reminded me of how I feel when I'm hanging out by the water in my favorite places. So that quest is something I'm going to come back and do later. We're going to leave that one alone for now. Had a 58 warlock die in my server. Oh, brutal. Learning to dive could be fun. It could be. It seems like one of those hobbies that takes a solid amount of equipment, which means money to get into it, storage space to store and maintain all of that equipment. And then I'm nervous about hobbies where if I mess up, I could die. I'm nervous about things that are dangerous in that way, and diving can be very dangerous if you mess up. So I think I'm happy to leave that to other people because I have enough hobbies. I have a problem with acquiring too many hobbies and having too much stuff and hobby supplies. I don't have a ton of room to store hobby supplies. And I know I pick up hobbies like nobody's business. So whenever I see one that I'm like, that's kind of neat, and I'm happy to leave that to other people, that's good. That's great. Walk away. I do not believe you will ever come back here. Well, that's okay. Tower of Alphalanx, glowing soul gems. Oh, I know what those mobs are like. How are my bag slots doing? 6 bag slots, but we've got clams we can open. That brings us up to 11 bag slots. Very good, very good. That is a quest item. I've also got some fish I could get rid of if it came to it. I'm happy with grinding the, yeah, I want to grind stag meat and bear meat for the sake of, cooking. I can level my cooking with that. Oh, in case you need another quest log slot, I need. A little tickled at passing my local dive store in Denver, Colorado, famously a mile above the sea. People dive here, but you gotta have yourself like a nice, nice insulating wetsuit or dry suit or whatever it may be. It is cold ocean here. I had a level 69 mage drown in Ironforge lava tonight. Really? Holy moly. That's like, not my worst fear, but it's up there. I think my worst fear is falling. Just like tripping off a cliff and losing a character and, you know, your days of playtime to fall damage. I would rather a lot of other things go wrong before that. Tin vein. I think that I would be more likely to get into snorkeling than diving because it would be less equipment, but still some of the same vibe. You know, you could snorkel with just like a snorkel and goggles and then like some flippers and maybe a wetsuit, and that would be much less aggressive than like oxygen tanks and all that. Diving kind of freaks me out. Yeah. You know, a wise dwarf once said, "Keep your feet on the ground." Something to that effect, and I've taken that to heart. SCUBA, one of my favorite acronyms. I always forget that it's an acronym. I could not tell you what it stands for. Super cool underwater Um, the only word that I can think of that starts with B is boys. Super cool underwater boys. Again. I have a feeling that's not it. So close. Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. That makes more sense. I have not tried the voiceover add-on. No. In the ocean, yeah. There's a pop song about there being boys in the ocean, and I like to change the lyric whenever there's anything in the ocean. And I wouldn't call it a meme, but it's a good one when you're fishing. You pull up anything, don't you know there's clams in the ocean. It's not what the song is about, but I get a kick out of that. Way cooler than the nerd that didn't start it was super cool. Super cool underwater breathing apparatus. I mean, it is pretty neat. I would be more likely to get into diving or scuba than parachuting. No real desire to fling myself from planes or heights, or even bungee jumping. Not a big adrenaline junkie. Scuba, at least you would be seeing more wildlife, which I think I would appreciate. I like exploring nature, seeing all kinds of wonderful little weird things that are everywhere. I feel like if I saw nature happening while I was skydiving, it would be a bird and it would be gone very quickly. You would be like passing it. Time for another food buff soon. Ocean's scary. I watched The Meg 2 in theaters, afraid of getting eaten by big monsters. I saw 2 Swainson's hawks while walking last week. Made my evening. It sounds lovely. Seeing the world from above is probably pretty cool. I mean, I do love a good window seat at on an airplane. Particularly for takeoff and landing, where you're actually like seeing cities and fields and farms and stuff from overhead. I appreciate that, but I don't do it super often. No desire to skydive. Imagine the window seat was all window. Yeah, I like the window seat because I can like look out the window and then I can go back to Stardew Valley on the iPad. It's like a nice balance for me. Skydiving is just testing gravity really, really well. When I was a student glider pilot, flew in formation behind a vulture. He looked behind him, saw me there. I gave him the fright of his life, I bet. Big bird. So you can loot Batherin's hair from these guys. Some of these are casters. Yeah. I'm gonna triple dot them. Because I don't have Curse of Tongues just yet. I will get it. And then you're looking for these bundles. You gotta really keep your eyes open if you want to find quest items on the ground in Classic. They do not go out of their way to point themselves out. Speaking of embroidery and other fiber arts, I got 2 kind of crafting kits for my birthday. I got one that is a needle felting project to create a little humpback whale out of wool, and then the crochet project, which I mentioned I'm gonna have to learn how to crochet for. I decided to start with the needle felting because it seemed less intimidating. It seems like a lot of stabbing with needle. And it's kind of like a neat concept. I worked on it for 1 session and now it's in my bedside nightstand and I don't know when I'm gonna finish it. But it looks pretty. Blessed be Questy. Watch out for a patrolling duo. Okay. Oh, those two. Are they higher level? Yeah, they are. They're level 20. Oh, there's a battered chest over there. Here, let's just go pull the duo. Let's just get him in there. Have him pull that one. Taunt it again. And then have him hit that one. And then have him suffering taunt. And then I'm gonna hit this one. I can hear Mr. Moose. And then you can heal yourself. Ooh, a moss agate. When are you turning on all the things for hardcore? I think that that's an if and not a when. I don't have any current plans to. Chest has always been a trap. All of the chests are a trap. Chests have nothing good in them until like way later. I almost never get, I mean, sometimes like maybe like a silver bar, but it is usually not hyper worth. Oh wow, some bananas. Here, let's drop a cheap thing so that I can pick it up because I don't want to leave the chest unlooted, yeah. Because otherwise it won't respawn and then somebody's gonna go and they're just gonna find some bananas. Speaking of drop the cheapest thing, let's get rid of the catfish and the mushrooms. I like that anon. Staff of Jordan, 100%. I got a gray light hunting bow, 2 red speckled mushrooms, and a silver bar. The silver bar at least I can sell. Those are pretty good. Those are decent. Okay, back to on the lookout for Bathrin's hair. How many do I have? One? One. The add-on that lets you drop things like that is called Drop the Cheapest Thing, I believe. Drop the Cheapest Thing. And it does exactly what it says. Ujai put me onto it. It's phenomenal. How did raid testing go? It was good. It was good. It started out extremely laggy, but the lag did clear up. The lag cleared up after they fixed a thing that was causing server issues, and the fights look cool so far. I'm happy with them. It always makes me excited to raid properly, like on retail later when it actually comes out. Options interface thing for percentages. So options, interface. You want to show status text. So it's under display, status text, both. I bet you could search your whole thing for status text. Yeah, you can search for status and then you can get both right there. Did you enjoy raid testing? It was alright. I was kind of full of bees yesterday and a little bit today and also this week. I'm kind of mentally a bit scattered and not doing my best. I'm not doing horribly, but I'm not in the top half of 10 out of 10. we're at like a 4.5. So I made it through. I got good footage. I'm happy with that. That's good enough for me for yesterday. I tend to get... Ooh, that was kind of a spicy place to send him in. I tend to get a bit headaches and nausea on PTR for too long. I think it has something to do with the refresh rate. I've never been able to quite fix that. Something about PTR and beta graphics, especially coming from Classic. Like, you get used to the interface size over here. Sometimes can kind of trip me up. I want that. There are 3 people at that camp. Go do that one. Extra little taunt. I almost targeted the wrong one. Happy with that, happy with that. Sounds like you should go on a hunting trip. Oh. Loot these guys. Oh, did I loot some off of a mob? I think I did, actually. That's nice. Is it weird that I kind of preferred watching hardcore classic era streamers more when it was just the add-on rules, which were more strict? Feels kind of less challenging watching people group up randomly use the auction house. No, I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. I am interested to eventually try when Blizzard does the official. I guess I could try add-on rules, but I don't know. I like the structure of Blizzard making me do it and knowing everybody else is definitely on the same rule set. If they do a proper solo self-found, I would be super into going for that. I could see why Blizzard doesn't incorporate Deathlog into hardcore as an official feature. I think that it's fun and it's cool, but I think it's important that it's opt-in. I think that if somebody doesn't want to have their death broadcasted to an entire server, I think it's within their rights to not want that. And it would be a bit messy to have it be otherwise by default. Hardcore, but you're only allowed to use your elbows. I never did challenge runs in other games, really, and now I'm thinking that I'm missing out on all kinds of good content. Like, I have favorite games that I'm looking for excuses to play again. I never did, like, the Pokemon Nuzlocke runs or anything, or, like, their Stardew Valley challenges. I would get a kick out of that, I think. Miss the Forsaken aesthetic not being full purple, Monster Energy green. I always thought it was a bit funny when they did, like, Cataclysm Forsaken dwellings, and they sent them like full Tim Burton. They made them extremely Nightmare Before Christmas. They are like comically Disney spooky, and I kind of like them when they were more just like regular kind of rotted down decrepit homes. They were spookier. What I'm hearing is maybe a return for Variety Fridays. Did I get everything I needed? I think I did. I have all kinds of quests to turn in. Wow. Would you look at that? I did it. You know what? I'm sending in to go fight those guys again. I enjoyed it so much the first time. We're doing it again. So, full dots. And a second taunt. And then we put his melee on that one. Start dotting it up. And then hit a AoE taunt. I love that AoE taunt. I was a bit nervous about the 2-minute cooldown, but it comes up pretty often. Like, that's not too much. That's so nice. That's a level 24 thing I think that Woodwalkers can learn is suffering. Alright. I want to make my way back towards Astrodar. Someone drowned? A warlock! No! A level 27 warlock should have unending breath. Friend! No! Stardew Valley Pokemon Challenge? No. Pokemon was just the first thing. Nuzlocke challenges in Pokemon were the first thing that came to my mind as an example of, you know, like self-imposed challenges in games. And then separately in Stardew Valley, nothing to do with Pokemon, people will do challenges like, you know, never buy seeds, or only sell things that could be part of pizza. You know, like open a pizza parlor. You only sell finished pizzas. So all of your farming is in creation of cheese and tomato sauces and bread and stuff. Legit surprised playing HC now, not Stardew. I'm surprised by how cozy hardcore feels. I never in a million years would have guessed that it would feel as comfy as it does. Definitely not picking that up just yet. That's too high. I never would have guessed that hardcore could be like this cozy and comfy. I would have thought that the threat of permadeath would just make me upset all the time. And don't get me wrong, I have the fused plates of a lobster, but I can't put it down, you know? I've been gaming for a while. Don't know if I will ever get used to using my 2-minute cooldowns more. I think I just like that hardcore gives me a ready-made reason to be really thorough about leveling and to really dig into all the little bits and pieces of buffs and professions and consumables and pull strats. Like, it lets me really get every last drop of juice out of each pull. And I don't feel like I'm wasting my time doing that. Like, sure, you could do that in retail, but why, you know? I think that having the threat of permadeath really changes the lens in a way that can become surprisingly comfy. So we're going to turn in that, turn in that. He's gonna pick up a new one. He's gonna give me another quest. I'm actually just gonna like AFK here for a minute. Am I gonna do that? Here. I'll be extra. We'll log out. I need to take a short break. Once you fall in love with the game again. I guess lobsters don't have fused plates. I'm not a lobsterologist. I did get the Night Elf Heritage armor. Have you guys seen this kitty cat? I think she's also making hardcore really cozy. Oh, thanks. Okay, you gonna keep the chair warm? I gotta get up again. BRB. Okay, we're back. Cyberwolf, thank you for the 12-month resub. Happy 1 year. Welcome back. One day I'll play this hunter again. I'm almost caught up to her in level. Also, they both have A names. I didn't even think of that before now. One day. Cat paralysis. I love kitty snuggles, but I also have a soft spot for the grumpy kitties that want nothing to do with it. There's something a bit poetic about loving them from afar and finding out what makes them feel cared for, even if it's just staying the heck out of their way. I love all the kitties a lot. Is my hunter logged off at an inn? That's an excellent question. I think so. I think she's at, I think I brought her back to the inn at Theramore. Or Menethil, rather. I'm pretty sure she's in an inn. Are you having too much fun in your new warlock? I think so. I think I am. Oh, look, somebody has a mount! Slash awe. I always slash awe people that are 40 with mounts just to make them feel important because they should. They should be proud of themselves. Make sure my elves have names that start with different letters so I can mail things faster. That is smart. Madam Rachel, thank you for the 7-month resub. Man, if I ever get a mount, I'm throwing a party. Oh. I lost a 5,700 in Fellwood. Oh no. It's only 60%, but man, does it matter when you're basically walking for days. Yeah. Plus, I'm gonna look so cool. I'm excited for mount on this character because it's like free, but then on my hunter, it will be not free, but I'll get to like ride a lightsaber, you know? Hello. Gave him water breathing. We could have pie. We could have pie. I finished my rice pudding last night while watching Black Mirror, and it turned out to be necessary. When I get to the end of like a rice pudding thing, I don't even put it into a dish anymore. I just take the rest of it in a spoon and I go to the couch. Stream party. I had sour cherry pie last night. It was the best. Man, 40 would be something. Although I'm excited to have made it to 20. I wasn't sure that I would be able to make it to 20 on a warlock. So 25 I feel like is pretty good. We're going to aim for 26. We're just going to do one level at a time. I think I can do 26. I would love to do 30, but let's not get carried away. What time is it? 11 a.m. Oh man, how does time go by so fast? I mean, it's been going good today, but still, I would love to do a lot more today, but I've got another half an hour. Well, you know what? Actually, I can probably stream till 12 because my PTR character is already set up for raid testing. I did all of that yesterday. I am ready to go, so I can stream until 12 and still have time for lunch before raid testing. Moose can come too. Hello, everyone. Hello. I went to go see my baby boy, and he's just sleeping on the couch, and he gets so happy to see me. I know that's like a dog feature, but oh my goodness, it's the best ever. He just like rolls on his back and he has this giant oven mitt paws and he flops over like this and he just looks up at you with his big old face and he's just like, "Aye." And it makes you forgive every dish towel that he's stolen. No, he's not currently allowed in stream room. There are cat zones and dog zones still at this point in puppy training. Mostly due to an excess of caution because Kitty Cat is blind. He's good with cats. He likes them. He wants nothing more than to give them kisses and try to play, which I appreciate. He's met many cats outside and he's done very well. He's not trying to chase them. He just wants to like meet them. But because Miss Kira is a bit timid and because she's blind and she can't see what's going on, I'm being excessively cautious. Anyone in the group you're testing with streaming? Yeah, OTB Dave. OTB Dave is streams raid testing. Oh, I think I pressed the wrong button. What kind of dog? I have that's the one. That's the command. He's a German Shepherd Husky mix, but he looks very much like a German Shepherd. He's 4 months old now. I guess I can update the command. He is now 4 months old. Okay. Oh, I need to clear up my bags. Holy moly. My bags are a mess. Pictures, even moving ones. I updated the highlight to add a few more recent stories to the end of it. Alright, so we get rid of the junk. I don't need the whiz-bang brew. I should sell the water breathing next time I'm back at town. Warlock fin soup. Spider ichor. Light hides have kind of fallen off in price. I need big bear meat, not regular bear meat. I'm not cooking the murloc fins anymore. I will save that. I will save that. I'm not saving that. I'm not saving that. Stag meat we're cooking. Medium hides we sell. Lustrous pearls we vendor. I got a silk cloth. Wow. Those are all greens. Okay, yeah, we should be okay.
Goodbye.
Here, let me see if I can grab a link. Yeah. You'll just have to move your webcam and computer to moose territory every other stream, to be fair. I don't know what the OTB stands for. I've raid tested with that guild for a few rounds. I like them a lot, but I'm not I don't know them super well. Dave's like the epitome of a good raid leader, though. He's got like, and I've been lucky to raid with a lot of great raid leaders in my life, but he's got that like kind of what am I trying to say? He manages to make people feel listened to, and like it's all kind of laid back and relaxed and not super tense, while still keeping things moving and keeping things functional, which is a real art form. He, like, the group does well and gets things together, and he can give assignments and he can pick plans and people will do them, but he can also, you know, it doesn't feel like a total, you know, dictatorship, or like no one feels yelled at or singled out, and it's a real skill. They're a mythic raiding guild. I think they're a CE guild, but they'll also bring in people like me that have just raid tested with them for a few times. I bring Flabby. They open up to pugs sometimes when they have spots to fill. I think they're pretty full for these raid testings. I was lucky to squeak in, but just a great. I've tested with so many guilds, and some of them are chaos. The guilds that I've done testing with in the last like 2 expansions have been wonderful, but back in like the day, back in like what was it? BFA? I don't know. I used to pug into some bananas groups where people are just like melting down in voice chat, and I don't like hanging out with that. I like a nice, calm, well-managed environment. Sounds a bit like my RL. My actual RL is also has that kind of energy, which I really appreciate. They're very, very good. Finally get to catch your stream. Welcome, Sammer Direct. Over the board means playing chess IRL, not online. Oh. Copper. Copper's good. Yeah, okay. If it's right there, I'll get it. I don't know at what point I feel like I don't need the gold from mining copper anymore, but it's apparently not yet. It sells, and it sells like quickly and reliably. My group leading style is more chaotic, vibrant optimism. This is hardcore. This is hardcore classic. I am level... Moose! Moose is excited. I am level 25 and a half. I'm heading up to get the Saloons tier. This is my second warlock. My first one bit the dust at level 15, so we're trying to set a new personal best. My highest level character is 26, which is my classic hardcore personal best on a hunter. And she's not dead, she's just AFK. Moose has opinions in raid leading too. Wrath Classic shouldn't be this fun. I'm glad you guys are having a good time with it. Haven't raided into guilds since Shadowlands, need to get back into it. I like it a lot. Not dead. Resting. True. I feel like I have to show her, like, screenshot her holding up, like, a current day's newspaper every time I log out just to prove, like, I promise you really didn't die. Because it seems, like, super suspicious to be leveling another character. But she actually didn't die. I just wanted to play a nope. I just wanted to be a warlock. Yeah, we're almost caught up to the hunter. Another half a level away. She's resting in peace, you could say. I see what you've done there. Try and relax. You ever get, like, kind of tense through your whole body, and you know you're tense and you know it's not helping, and you try and, like, do the deep breathing that stretches and relax, and you just can't chill? Oh, I hate that. All day, every day. It happens to me sometimes, but it's unusual for it to stick around this long unless there's something... It usually means there's something stressful in my life that I'm avoiding and, like, shoving down, so I should probably look into that, but it's, you know... Usually when you're shoving things down, you're doing it for a reason. Trick for that is to relax my face muscles. Relax face muscles. I have a hard time. I'm a natural squinter. I, like... squint and compulsively smile on stream all the time. That's when I need an edible TBH. Oh, there's lots of them over here. Feeling often precedes me getting sick. I know I can make myself sick if I stay too tense for too long. So usually when I get like this, I need to kind of have a nice sit down with myself and figure out what's going on and what I can do about it. Usually it's like something that I've been avoiding that's making my life harder, or something that I just need to like make a decision about, or something that I just need to do that I don't want to do. But I'm pretty good at shoving stuff down when I don't want to deal with it. Realized I'm a teeth grinder, need to get a guard. Yep. That's my life. Getting a good one though is key. I used a cheap mouth guard for years and it seriously messed up my bite. And I have an actual dentist made one now and it has made a world of difference. I can chew food. I think getting a good one and then taking good care of it is key. Haven't played Classic. Looks like there are less mobs. I mean, this is the pre-Cataclysm world. Yeah, it is less dense than a lot of areas, but there are more dense areas. I'm just not in them right now. I want to go do that too, but like carefully. There's dangerous stuff on this side. Oh, I guess we can turn in a Loon's tier. It's just like right back there. Updates in the tooth journey? Last time I went to the dentist, they said the bite was looking decent. My tooth health is looking good. My gums are looking good. I'm very pleased to be back to twice a year cleanings instead of 4 times a year cleaning, especially because I have no dental insurance. It's good. I'm happy. We do a lot of work on dental hygiene in this house. Oh, you okay, honey? Oh, kitty cat's run up. One sec. Alright. She's okay. Some things are just easier to clean up if you clean them up right away. Oh, I went AFK, didn't I? That was a little bit dangerous. Yeah, no, kitty's alright. Okay. That would be a pretty Hazel way to go. Cat has hairball. Rip. I didn't even think about that. I just needed to check on kitty cat. Yeah, you're alright, sweetie. How you feeling? You feeling better? Yeah, you didn't need that in ya. You wanna come back on my lap? Long time watching, new following, love the haircut. Oh, thanks, Bean Scent. Alright. I was heading back to town, that's right. You wanna come up? That's me. Real life stuff's important, almost a wholesome way to die. Yeah, I think I would be upset, but I don't think I would be like... That would be probably one of the more reasonable reasons to die is if one of the animals needed me immediately. Aw, thanks, Blind Bicycle. That's really sweet. Feels so sad when ours has a hairball. Seems mildly traumatic. Yeah, it's no good. You don't want him throwing up all the time, but in my experience, if it's just once in a while, and it's usually with a hairball, it's just usually a sign that I need to brush her a little bit more to get rid of some of that excess hair before she ends up eating it. Yeah, you feeling better? I should watch where I'm going. What is that? That is copper. We don't need that. We're just gonna go turn in Mr. Moose. I went in to get cleaning supplies from the front room and he thought I was done stream. I think that 1 cat and 1 dog, and you can quote me on this later when I get older and change my mind. I think this is like the right amount of pets for me. 1 cat, 1 dog, nice tank of fish. I'm happy. I think that more would be overwhelming for me, and I think this is the right amount to be able to love them bunches and have enough attention and not be drowning. Put a hole through them so fast. That's great. I have mail. So it's 18 minutes after. Oh no, I was gonna stream until noon today. I do want to eventually get back to a city to post up some of the fresh greens that I got. I like doing that at the end of a stream. Love to get a cat scared of the responsibility. That is usually a good sign that you are thinking down the right lines of thought to being ready for a cat. They are a big responsibility. They live a very long time. They need good care. They need love and attention, and kittens in particular are kind of demons. Regular dental care is something that I am very passionate about with cats now, just because of having seen how upsetting it is for them and how problematic it is for them when they have bad teeth in their older years. So we brush our teeth every day now, and Mr. Moose's teeth. But it's so worth it. And generally speaking, I guess it's not quite a fair comparison because I have a cat, I have an adult cat, and I have a puppy. Puppies are, of course, going to be a lot of work, especially relative to adults, but Kitty is generally more self-sufficient than a dog is. She goes to the bathroom on her own time, and I can scoop it on my own time, although regularly is good. But it's not something that you have to, you know, every 4 hours, etc. Elderly cats need care like old people. It's a long time dream. Getting a kitty cat was everything I wanted it to be. And it was one of the best things I ever did. Hi. Hi. I think I'm just a pets person, though. I love any opportunity to both just be around animals, observe them, get to know them, and then to be able to build bonds with them in my house is like a dream. So I love pets. I also don't have a lot of tendencies that would make pets difficult. I don't like traveling. I don't like going out. I'm not somebody that really like goes on trips ever if I can avoid it. I love being at home and doing home stuff, and that works out well when you have pets that need regular care. Not that you can't travel when you have pets, but it definitely takes more arrangements. Should get a hedgehog. I'm all right. I'm sure they're wonderful though. I have the right amount of animals for me. And I think that my life will feel a little bit more manageable in, 6 months or so, and Mr. Moose is more of an adult dog. Although he is a wonderful puppy. I can't walk by Copper. I just can't do it. Good excuse to stay home more now. Cat at home. She needs me. I need her. I think I felt a lot better once I realized and admitted to myself that I just don't like traveling that much. And that going on trips for vacations is not something I really feel like I want to save for or budget for or spend time on. And then that's okay. I used to feel like I was kind of like it was a shame or I was wasting my life or not seeing enough of the world. And I think that if I am happy and well-adjusted and feel fulfilled and satisfied in my life, doing all the things that I like doing at home, then I think that that's okay. I don't have to travel. How high is my mining skill? 108, which I must say, I have not smelted a single bar. I have done 0 smelting. That is purely from mining. A few trips I want to take. Definitely more of a stay-at-home person. There's just so many endless things to... I don't really get bored at home. I think partly because I'm kind of a serial hobbyist, and partly because I guess I just have a hard time keeping up with a household to begin with. So if I like make it through a weekend or like a pair of days off and I manage to like do some meal prep, clean the place, catch up on laundry, and like wash my car or something like that, that's like, that kept me busy. I feel accomplished. Like that's enough for me. Wow, you went to the post office? Good job. Day done. Day over. That's enough excitement for me. Plus, there's always new things to cook. There's new things to make. And there's lots of wonderful day trips. I love hiking. I love exploring different trails and parks. I just like walking through neighborhoods and seeing gardens. And there's lots of amazing stuff to go to around here. And I don't mind doing the same walks and trips and parks over and over again because there's always something a little bit different, you know? Or like you get to know and really love like, oh, there's a raven that like lives on this hill that like tends to perch on this particular tower or like whatever. Like there's an eagle that likes to be on top of the totem pole at Beacon Hill Park. There's, you go visit the herons in the rookery. It's like I live in such a magical place that I don't feel like I really need to go anywhere. I'm going, I should go somewhere because I received some Airbnb gift credit for my birthday, so I should take a trip eventually. I like the journey of traveling, but the not being at home part's pretty stressful. Yeah, I like my safe space. Potentially too much. I am a person that gets very, very comfy in my comfort zone, and my home is very much my comfort zone. So being outside of it can be stressful in its own right, even if everything is going well. Sounds like you're having a good time. Work to figure out and arrange. Playing an RL MMO traveling, getting to explore, see new things. I stress so much about just the very basic nuts and bolts functioning of being out in the world. Like, where am I sleeping and is that a place to get reasonable sleep? eating is a nightmare for me. Not because I can't eat lots of stuff. I'm pretty flexible with food. I'm a pescatarian, but it's not that hard to find pescatarian food. I'm not vegan. I don't have any allergies, so as long as I can find something that's pescatarian, I'm fine. But like, I have a hard time eating when I'm stressed, and when I'm not home, I'm stressed. But you have to eat, especially if you're away for like a few days. You can't just not eat until you get home. And all of it just ambient pressure, like I just don't do well. It's like traveling with a rare lizard that doesn't do very well on the road. You know, she wants to be at home eating her crickets. I'm sure I would get better at it if I did it all the time, but I don't know if I feel a strong urge to get there. Try finding an Airbnb in the woods not too far away. I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. There are some beautiful cabins that are like, you know, like an hour, 2 hours from here. That would be like a short drive that I could just do like 2 nights. If I wanted to, I could even like drive back home on one of the days to like come check in with the kitty cat. But I also have people that could come and check on her. Yeah, there's definitely stuff that I wouldn't have to like travel for. And you know, there's places that have like kitchens, like you can buy your own, like the way my mom travels. She's not like jet setting. She takes trips all the time. They drive up and down island. They take ferries to the different islands. They do Airbnbs. They house it for people they know. They almost always like bring groceries and cook their own meals. They're not really eating out, which I think is something that could help me a lot. She's really good at, she also knows people, but she's really good at finding these trips that she can do where they can be a little more self-sufficient. I got a Mystic's robe to drop. It's agi int, of course it is. It's a lot of int at least. It's 7 int and 3 agility. Agility, why? Use your visage form to get out of rare lizard mode. Didn't even think you could spend that voucher in a tiny house stay. Good thinking. Solo or with someone else. I'd love to go with partner and with Moose, because he's okay to stay home on his own for like a couple hours at a time. He actually does very well. He doesn't seem overly anxious. He doesn't really destroy things. I appreciate that. But I'm not keen to leave him overnight, especially not while he's a baby. Yeah, I guess I could go away for a few days on my own without my partner. That would be kind of weird. Just go think in the woods. Did you know there's a professional wrestler called Moose? I did not know that. That would also be like a big favor to ask, to leave partner with full-time puppy care and kitty cat plus everything else around here. I'm sure they would, but you know, I want to take trips with them. Would you believe it? He's a big lad. I would believe it. Thoughts on solo traveling? Thoughts on solo traveling? I don't know if I have any thoughts on solo traveling. I guess I haven't done it. Really. I mean, I've gone on my own to like work events, right? Like I've gone, both times I went to BlizzCon, I went alone. And then met up with friends there, or like just went alone and stayed alone. I did a San Francisco trip once for Twitch, and I went alone to that, but that's not really traveling. That's just like flying to a place and getting yourself an Uber to a hotel and then like getting yourself to your event. That's just like a work thing. Yeah, I've never solo traveled for the joy of it. That is what traveling is? Oh. Well, then I like the being alone with my thoughts. I don't like it is kind of nice making all of the calls and not having to like run them by anybody. Even if the people that you travel with are like very amenable and chill, It's kind of nice just like... Also, what did I do? I turned in Rain's Cleansing, and I accepted a new quest for Rain's Cleansing. The new quest for Rain's Cleansing wants me to find the wooden key, Dartel's Rod. Oh, up there. That's more dangerous. We're not going to worry about that just yet. I'm feeling stone talon-y. I'm feeling like it's time to get a little stone talon-y. Yeah, it's nice being able to just kind of like navigate airports and stuff on your own if you have enough time in which to do it, and just kind of like, I don't know, make your own nest. Slime and Sam, thank you for the 12-month resub. Appreciate it. Get to do everything I want to do. Don't wait on other people. No arguments or stress or waiting. Yeah. I like time alone with my thoughts, but I'm good with like a walk, you know? I don't know if I need like a trip. It would be like a silent retreat. Hate airports. So I think I can do these carefully. This is going to be the most dangerous thing I do today. I'm going to try and pick off some of these foul-wheeled furbolgs. I'm going to try and pick them off. I've done this before in my hunter, but that's not to say that it's not dangerous. I did it with Flabby as well, I think. I think there was 2 of us out here last time. This area is awful. Yeah, we're going to be a little bit cautious here. If I feel like it's no good, then I'm just going to not. But I do want to try it. So I'm gonna. Pet the kitty cat. Had to stretch to find enough warriors. I'm gonna let Hellgrave grab them first. Hellgrave, you go hit it first. And then you tell it. And I'm also recklessnessing all of them so that they don't run when they die. Or when they get low. I'm currently level 25. These mobs are kind of 23 and 24, so this is more dangerous than most things that I've done in the last like 2 streams. I think one of the best survival skills you can have in hardcore is the ability to walk away from bait. There are times that you'll be tempted to go in and try something like pulling a camp, doing like a double or a triple pull, wandering into a cave. And you'll know that it would be safer to come back and do it later, but there'll be like a quest that you're almost finished, there's a chest just inside, there's like a gathering node you really want. And one of the biggest predictors of survival is how well can you walk away from the cheese and the mousetrap and either come back later or just not worry about it, even if it means leaving a quest 99% done. Because a lot of these situations that can get you killed are situations that you can read as dangerous before you get into them. But they try to, like, they tempt you into them by offering, like, oh, hey, you could finally finish this quest, or there's, like, a really valuable piece of ore here, or what have you. So, being able to walk away and to not engage with the spicy part, I think is really important. And sometimes very hard. My weakness is chests. I know this about myself. I love looting them. So sometimes I will clear to chests that I maybe shouldn't. But especially now that I'm getting a little higher level, not so much. Not so much anymore. The worst bait. It's always just bread. Sometimes the bait is in forms you don't expect, like being invited to a group, and you think, Surely I'd be safer in a group, plus I don't want to be rude by stealing these mob tags. But if that group is playing recklessly, you are not necessarily better off. That can get people killed too. I haven't had any deaths like that, but I've heard stories. Spicy part is the spice of the game. Yeah. And just like with food spice, everybody can choose their own preferred level of spice and should never feel pressured into more than they want by other people. I want this one. That's one of the beautiful things about games is you get to play it your way. Otherwise it would be a movie, not a game. Why did I re-recklessness? That was silly. He already had it up. I've heard many stories of death by polite grouping. Okay. A lot of times if you're patient, you can do quests like these without ever having to go into the big dense camp by just grinding the respawns that are a little bit more spread out in the surrounding area. But you have to be a bit patient, and it's annoying if people are competing you for them. Let's let him build up a little bit of threat on that. Do that a lot. Sudden spice. I have some peppers that are on my balcony that I need to like harvest soon because the weather's getting colder and they're not going to last much longer. And I think I just need to make a batch of chili and throw one of them in there just to find out if that's a good move or not. Because I tried eating one like straight and it hurt me. It bit me on the tongue. It was mean. But, you know, a lot of things are very spicy when eaten directly, but are actually pretty reasonable if you cook with them. So I might make a batch of chili if I can soak some beans. Pull this one back a little bit, and then aggro, and then taunt, and you stop and you tank it right there for a little bit. And then again, 2 dots, and then I start wanding and I can tab at the totem when he summons it. I wouldn't do more than a double pull of these. If I got through by accident, the move is to sack the Voidwalker and book it. Spicy chili, so good. If you die in a dungeon or raid in hardcore, then yes, you are dead. You are perma-dead. People doing dungeons on hardcore tend to over-level them and do them as safely as they can. I have chosen to just bypass that altogether and not do any dungeons or raids. Beef substitute and chili, all the beans? Typically just all the beans. I did make it once with like a pack of Beyond Beef, but it wasn't really necessary. Beans, roasted tomatoes. I pressure cook, and I do it for like a good long time. I like it like nice and cooked down and like thick. I don't want like soupy chili. Don't like Beyond Beef. Impossible's much better. I agree with you. I'll still buy Beyond if it's on sale though. I'm cheap enough to buy whichever one is cheaper at the time if I'm in the mood to cook with it and not just use beans. I actually think both of the burgers are fine, but I do think the Impossible ones are better. Can't believe falafel hummus vegan options. I accidentally made vegan dinner last night. Normally I end up putting like sour cream But I was out, so I didn't. And then I was like, oh, there wasn't any other dairy in this. I got a blue. I've never had one before. It's a two-handed axe that has a bleed chance on hit. Am I rich? How long will it take me to find someone to buy that? That's cool. What if we make a warrior or whatever just to get to that level and be able to use it? Another bag for you. Let's not get too carried away. Let's not get too excited. We're still farming mobs. I forgot to recklessness that one, so that's why he ran. You know what? I'm gonna let him get that hit first. Worth a good amount. I remember that twin PvP axe from back in the day. You're certainly about to be rich. Hey, once I get to 4 ring cloth bags, my bags are done. That'll be as good as they're ever gonna get. So I've only got 2 more left to go. What axe? Kill maim. Kill maim dropped. Two-handed axe with a chance to bleed on hit. Blue. My first blue. "16-year-old me would have loved that name." 4 gold 20 in my server. Oh yeah, we'll have to take a look at it. Cast a Shadow Bolt. You look at that. I'm a real warlock. Okay. Oh, he didn't even drop a totem. How are we doing on this quest? We need 3 more totemics and a bunch more warriors. These guys. I thought about doing a double pull, but I'm not gonna. Keep it for transmog and 3 expansions. I'm gonna agony instead of recklessness for this one. Currently trying a Bonza chickpea frozen waffle. Really okay. What a review. Imagine that printed in the box. This was like really okay. I like chickpeas. I think they're like a magical bonus food from the universe. I must have pulled that before Hellgrave could. He needs that first hit aggro. My health was pretty good though. I got a silk cloth piece from that. Pull this back. Watch out for respawns because they do spawn in this area. I could do a double. If it came to it. I would not do a triple. Gorgeous kitty. Why, thank you. That one. Do pets also die perma? Not unless you choose to self-enforce that. You can res pets, resummon pets in hardcore. The only thing I want at Classic Plus is Transmog and Alt Mail and Guildbank. Shorter Hearthstone cooldown. I think I'm gonna finish this quest. It's going well. I'm happy with it so far. You know, knock on wood. But if I finish this and then get back to town, I should probably wrap up the stream to make sure I have enough time for lunch before raid testing. Plus, we gotta put together a news video. I'm gonna have to catch up on what all the news of the week was. I have my head stuck in hardcore like a emu with its head in the sand. If they really do that. I'm like a clam in the beach. I'm a crab in the ocean. I don't know what's going on. Do the Light of a Loon quest yet? I think I'm working up to it. I think I'm on the quest line that will get me there eventually. This is the first expired warlock. Have you had many close calls? This warlock had a couple of close calls in Loch Madan. There was a real sketchy quad pole of trogs at the dig site in Loch Madan that I had to like run from and leash. And then, oh, I got another blue. I got a cloth belt. Actually, that's kind of sick. It's 8 int and 3 stam. Do I sell it or do I wear it? I think I sell it because it requires level 18, which I'm pretty above. I could probably get a better green belt pretty soon. I think I sell it. Holy, I'm lucky. Wowie. And then I had a second close call in Loch Madan when that triple pat of like elite horde walked into me when I wasn't looking. And I had to leash them too. My goodness. Yo, your girl's rich. All back sort of Chi-Chi. I wanted to play Locke because I like pet classes and I want one of each. I have a hunter and a warlock. I can't choose between them. I gotta play both. I like pet classes in hardcore a lot. This makes me nervous. Let's go all the way around to here. 2 blues. I can't believe that. Actually, let's turn around. There's people farming over there. How's my bag slots doing? 6 bag slots left. Oh, I got some big bear meat. I can cook that. Hi, kitty. Let's go for the epic now. Okay. I need another food buff, actually, after I kill this one. I'm going to eat another piece of venison. I do like Warlock a lot. Plus, I really wanted to be a gnome, and Warlock was my favorite of the available gnome classes. Gnome can't do hunter or priest in Classic. Those are both things that they got access to later. Hi, kitty cat. Consume Shadows is such a strong self-heal for the Voidwalker, it's kind of bananas. It's like really good. I don't need that shaman. I need 2 more totemics and 2 more warriors. There's a totemic. I think Stone Talon, I'm going to be pretty over-leveled for it, but I will still probably go try it. Not today on stream, but somewhat soon in my Ashenvale life. Because there's like kind of 18, 19 quests out there, and we're pressing on towards 26. But I just want to be like really juiced up by the time I go back to the wetlands. Wetlands is a dangerous place to be not over-leveled for. There is stuff that happens out there. I don't think I dotted that one up properly. Pull that back away from the camp in case camp starts respawning. Murloc aggro range close to infinity. That's a Pathfinder. Love the Night Elf female animations. I agree. I think they're lovely. What do I need? I need just 1 more foul-wheeled warrior. Not you. You? Yes. This was pretty chill. This was a reasonable quest. You just gotta take it easy and not get too carried away with the double pulse. I think last time I did this, I ground out like a camp because I really wanted a piece of like bruiseweed there, and in hindsight, not so much with the worth it. It was a bit messy. Although I was questing with Flavia at the time, so I had a friend handy. We're gonna get that other one, aren't we? Yes, we are. Get a Shadow Bolt. I've got mana. I think I need to buy another wand shortly too. Maybe I'll use some of the gold that I got from those, that I get from those blues if I sell them, and invest in a blue, like the next blue wand that I get into the level bracket for. That would be kind of nice, I think. Okay, so that turns in Astrovar. Very nice. I can actually hearth there. I may as well. Oh no, that hearth takes me to Oberdeen. I never changed my hearthstone. I have to run. I have to run. But this is going to bring me pretty reasonably close to 26. I'm happy with today. We got basically an entire level, and 1 level per stream is good enough for me for right now. I'm happy with that. How do you steer your character? Right mouse button. I'm auto running currently. I have an auto run toggle button on my mouse, I think, and then I just steer with my mouse. If I'm running around and I need to be more accurate than that, I do have WASD bound to move forward and then strafe. I don't have keyboard turning bound at all. So my A is strafe left, my D is strafe right. When you have auto run on, you don't have... That seems like an autocorrect. I wonder what you meant. Something about right click. Thanks, Sugar Free. I'm glad you like it. I'm gonna go for a little less wine and a little bit more pink next time I do it, but I'm good with this for a few weeks. Right click. When you have auto run, you don't have its right click. I think I still don't understand. I'm sorry. Do you like this kind of questing or the modern approach? I won't lie. The running all over the earth for the questing, especially when you're running on a ground mount, is a lot of downtime. I like some amount of the downtime to kind of slow the pacing out and help you feel like immersed in your zone, and you can enjoy the music and you can do a lot of gathering. And I like that slower pace, but I could handle... I think I appreciate the more modern version of questing that's a little bit more... I don't like it totally on rails, but there's a happy medium in between this. Yeah, I agree with you where the modern approach is a bit factory job. It's a bit formulaic. But I do prefer to this, I think. I think they've also, they've kind of pulled it back a little bit. They had, like, Warlords of Draenor to me was, like, peak formulaic questing, where it was very much on rails. You would go and you would do your kill quest, boss quest, item quest. Next hub, kill quest, boss quest, item quest. Like, it was extremely copy-paste. And I think that in BFA and through more modern questing, they've done a little... They've not gone completely back to the old version of it, but they've kind of scaled it back a little bit. But I haven't really done a lot of modern questing recently. Okay. I need... Ooh, I also had a 10-slot bag drop at some point. I can sell that, too. I don't know about for a gold. That's aggressive, but I can certainly auction that off for something. 30-something. When you have auto run on, do you not have to hold the right mouse button? Correct. Auto run will continue running you forward hands off, and then when I only hold the right mouse button if I'm steering. So I will click the right mouse button, steer myself to wherever it is that I'm going, and then I let it off and I'm still auto running. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I changed my auto run keybind is mouse button 4 is what I usually do. It's also on number lock, but I can't be bothered with that. So yeah, I have a mouse button 4 for me on my G600 is I just tilt my mouse wheel to the right and then I'm running. Tilting my mouse wheel to the left, or on the other side of it rather, is my mount keybind when I have one, which I don't right now. I'm going to set my Hearthstone here, and I'm going to take a flight path back up to Darnassus and do some inventory stuff, but I think I am going to wrap up stream too.
What brings you here?
But I like having the auto run on a mouse key because it's just closer to the steering buttons and it makes my brain feel nice. Super Squirt and retail priorities. That's fair. That's totally fair. So I will be back tomorrow morning for a Saturday morning stream. I think it's highly likely that I'm continuing to play hardcore unless I manage to get myself killed off stream. I appreciate the company today. Keep an eye out on my YouTube channel. I will put out a fresh news video tomorrow morning unless something goes horribly wrong. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.